Hello everyone. So, I think I might be a bit ambitious today. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, I might be able to pull it off. Depending on how much text there is to read, I think I might be able to get to game over. But, I will say the probability of that happening is about, maybe 15%. We're gonna try though. I'm gonna try for it. So yeah, I wanted to wait until I was unmuted to open my stamina potion because I know I cheated you guys out of it last time. There you go. All right. Let's get into it, shall we? Let me turn the music down a little bit. We're about to enter into Act 6, Intermission 5. Now remember, there are 6 acts in Act 6. And after Intermission 5, we're on Act 6. Act 6. So, let's get into it, shall we? Let's get Dave up here. There we go. Also, welcome in, Liv. It's good to see you. Alright. Let's do this. Year 3. Now, we know that John and Jade arrived. Jade got mind-controlled by Condi and is now Grimbark. Jane is being mind-controlled by Condi as well and is now Crocketeer. So we have 2 players down. Arguably the 2 most important players. We have the life player, which is essentially the healer, and Jade, who is arguably one of the most powerful god tiers in all of Homestuck besides Lord English. So yeah, that's scary. Alright, let's do this. Dave, are you there? Come in, Dave. This is Carcat. Over. Answer me, you jack-off. Don't be all like, you're too busy to pick up. Who are you trying to kid? You're quite possibly the only person on this meteor who's even got less on his nutrition plateau than me. Even the mayor has a more demanding schedule than we do. Let's face the fucking facts. What, did you think Cantown runs itself? Fat chance, Dave. God damn it, Dave. The reference. God fucking damn it, Dave. I have a problem. No, we have a problem. Sky is now visible to the naked eye. We can't be much more than a few hours away. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. 3 of the longest human years we'll ever have to live for the rest of our lives. Sunk into this depressing laboratory, which, by all accounts, should never have functioned as anything but our eternal tomb. I have no idea how we're even supposed to stop this thing. Do you? Oh well. Sending it blasting off somewhere at the speed of light sure seemed like a good idea at the time. And now that we're finally here, after all the waiting and drama and boredom and stupid bullshit with our ancestral ghosts, and even disregarding the one hilariously neglected detail that this meteor has no fucking brakes, I still don't think we're ready for this. Sigh. I don't... How do I even begin to address this shit? Okay, how about this? Since I can't think of a better general purpose question to help break the ice in literally any imaginable social situation. Where are your fucking pants? My pants? What are you talking about? They're on my legs. I wasn't talking to you. Oh. Dave, we have a big problem here. What? I think it's time we had, what did you call it? An intervention for Rose? No, not Rose. Why would I be talking about Rose? She doesn't have a major problem that she needs to be confronted about. He's just like me, pantsless. Did you just call Terezi a he? You serious? Oh no. Liv, that's gonna be on the VOD. People are gonna see that. They're gonna see you in almost every single stream at some point, and they're gonna get to this point and be like, how did Liv get that wrong? Yeah, Terezi uses she, her pronouns. She doesn't have a major problem that she needs to be confronted about by her friends before she flushes her whole life down the gaper, does she? Yeah, kinda. Why? Because she likes to drink that goofy human soporific that makes her a lot funnier and more charming than usual? How is that a problem? I was talking about Terezi. Man, Terezi doesn't need an intervention. She just drinks a lot of soda. How can you not see how that's a huge fucking problem? It's red, fizzy shitwater, dude. Who cares? Okay, can we just once acknowledge that we're mutual aliens to each other and, as such, possibly have different values and standards about things? Just this one time, Dave. Thanks. Teresa's made her choices. Among them was to begin guzzling untold liters of that putrid circus cola. Think of it as, like, a rite of passage. Like, something that just goes with the territory when someone you know almost imperceptibly begins turning into a juggalo. Wait, fuck. Maybe she does need an intervention. She needs to wake up so we can talk to her about this. She won't wake up. What do I do? Try kicking her? Yeah. I'm out of ideas. Well, whenever she wakes up, we need to have a serious talk about this. If she's in this condition when we get to the new session, it'll be a goddamn embarrassment. Not to mention deadly. Need I remind you who's still following us? She doesn't look primed for a battle from where I'm standing. We need to act as a unified front, Dave. We need to let her know that as her friends, we can't stand by and watch her degrade herself like this. Man, I don't know. Sounds like you want to make this needlessly melodramatic. Stand by, I'm putting you on speaker crab. Speaker crab? Yeah, speaker crab. Man, don't put me on speaker crab. She needs to hear from you, Dave. She trusts you. God, honestly, she can do whatever she wants. I put all this behind me a while ago. Why do you really want me in on this conversation? Is it that you just don't know what to say by yourself? Maybe it is, Dave. Maybe that's exactly what it fucking is. I'm sorry I'm not a god tier. I'm not so fortunate as to be blessed with the gift of gab like you. What? That badge you earned. You know, the one that makes it easier to talk to people. Like, really open up about your feelings and say whatever needs to be said. That's what you think it does? Isn't it? No, dude, that's not what Gift of Gab does. Okay, what does it do then, wise guy? Its utility isn't really comprehensible to lowly mortals. Sorry. You snide shoot huffer! Why didn't you come up here so I can push you off this building? Nah. I'm putting you on speaker crab, and then together we're gonna keep it real as shit. You hear me? What do you actually want from her? You want her to stop drinking Fago, falling asleep in puddles of red fructose corn slobber? Or do you want her to somehow address the root of those habits and cut all that out for good? Yes, I want her to do that. The latter thing. Yeah, I can understand where you come from. But in situations like this, I think you need to remind yourself there's only so much you can do for somebody. And maybe they aren't gonna want or need your help, and just have to figure out how to deal with that. Like at some point in your life, one of your friends might start spending all her time with a guy you think is bad news. And you have to decide if you need to intervene as friend or just let it go because people can change or drift apart or whatever, because that's just something that happens. Dave, your wisdom, my god, is knocking my socks off. Holy shit, please tell me the secret to your wise ways. And while you're at it, maybe you could tell me what the fuck you're talking about. Look, all I'm saying is, there comes a time in every woman's life where she has to come to terms with the decision to gradually morph into a juggalo while all her friends and loved ones watch in dismay. Terezi strolled through the dark carnival and taken a great brooding whiff of that decision's festive asshole. And the choice she's made is all too clear. She's down with the clown. No, don't say that. It's true, man. You can live in denial for only so long. But as your bro, I have to say it like it is. She and Gamzee, man, that's literally a thing. They're in the hate square together. Total kiss my spades, dude. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, I know that. Just, why do you have to put everything so colorfully? I guess I do the same thing, but you always seem to take things to a different level of gross. Just, please say shit normal for a change, okay? Regarding Gamzee, I knew that already. Oh, really? Then the fuck have I been tiptoeing around all this time, goddamn? I thought there was supposed to be, like, this big secret that would destroy you if you found out. Motherfucker, please. You think I'm an idiot? I suspected this was going on for a long time. I was just being like you, playing it cool, letting her do whatever. Why is it a problem now? Because this is the last straw. We're supposed to be ready for action by now. Not comatose, half-naked, and phago-sticky. God, I wonder what sort of bullshit he's got her believing in now. About the mirthful messiahs and Shangri-La and all that garbage. Makes me sad to think she's caught up in all his superstitious web of lies. It's been awful watching the person I used to know slowly drift away from me, to the point where she might as well be gone. How'd you manage to deal with that? What? You and she used to see each other all the time. What happened? Like I said, I'm just put it behind me. Started sneaking around the vents and stuff, acting suspicious, just trying to hide the fact that she was seeing him. Like, she was obviously ashamed of it and worried how I'd react. But it was hella transparent that it was going on, so I just said, that's fine. Y'all can do your black rum thing with the juggalo, it's your decision. But I can't keep playing along. I can't do the quadrant thing, it's just too weird for me. I'm not a troll. I'm not all open-minded about getting multicultural. I also don't understand the spades thing, and it makes me really fucking uncomfortable even trying to imagine how that works. And I sure as fuck don't want to date anybody who's got a hate clown on the side. So I said no hard feelings, I still like, do whatever makes you happy. I'll just be over here in the hypergravity chamber training to beat Lord English. We have a hypergravity chamber? No. Oh. Well, what about you? Haven't you been talking to Gims this whole time? Or is he just balls out lying to you about sneaking around the meteor to Terezi? Thought more rails are supposed to be open with each other about stuff like that. Yeah, Gamzee ended our Mori really just quite some time ago. Oh, shit. Sorry to hear about that. Why are my lips so fucking dry today? What's that about? What's going on? My dry-ass lips. Oh, there it is. Okay. I need to put on some lip balm. Otherwise, my lips are going to crack. I think it's because I've got, like, my window open, my fan on, and I'm talking. That's probably what it is. A lot of, lip smacking. Lip smacking yapping. Keep your lips healthy, folks. They're fragile. Alright. So, Everything's falling apart. This is a nightmare. One of the strongest fighters, Terezi, is out for the count. This ain't good. It's fine. It was really a dead-end pal relationship. At first, it really seemed like it was a necessary part of his life. Keeping his shit under control. But as time went on, he just got completely disinterested and wasn't keeping up with his end of the thing at all. He started getting so unbelievably self-satisfied and pious. Like, way more than he ever was before. Like, he's just so completely convinced he's found his calling. That this session is the gateway to the promised land where he'll fulfill his destiny. He's so caught up in his idiotic schemes, he couldn't give a fuck about me anymore. Whatever. At least he stopped killing people. Amazing. I spent 3 years on this rock and never said one thing to the guy. Saw him once, though. Just a glimpse in a dark hallway. It's kind of like seeing a blurry purple Bigfoot with a huge boner. Oh god, that fucking god tier outfit. What a goddamn faker. I can't for the life of me imagine where he got that thing. I know Kanaya sure as hell didn't make it for him. The man literally has no shame. Why is he wearing it? I don't know. I don't think even he knows. Maybe to make a good impression on his fake-ass religious idol after he thrust his sacred codpiece through the gates of Shangri-La. The best thing we ever do together is slam this asshole's dumb religion. Yeah. Really, it's the most hilarious fucking horseshit I've ever heard. I mean, pretty much all religions are wrong, but there's wrong and then there's wrong. As in zero chance you're ever proven right about even a single thing, dude. Ever, ever, ever. So true. I wish I could see the look on his face when he finally realizes everything he believes is a lie. Be one sick clan that day. His bulge will probably deflate, make this high-pitched noise, plus corresponding flatulence. Hey, Dave, what do you think will happen to us after we meet up with the others? I mean, as friends. What do you mean as friends? I mean, will we still get to be bros? Yeah. No offense, dog, but that's a dumb and neurotic question. No, but see, we're gonna meet all these other people, John among them, and John is your best friend. So you'll ostensibly resume that friendship where you left off. And John and I had a few testy conversations with each other one day, and in most of those I made a fool of myself. I guess we became friends that day, maybe. But the reality is, it was just one day. And he'll be well within a reasonable frame of mind, not to give a crap in hindsight about the guy who trolled him once 3 years ago. And the same goes for Jade. I thought we had a decent rapport, but again, it was one day forever ago. She probably barely remembers me at this point. Whereas, that doesn't matter for you, because you go way back with them. This is like a fucking heartfelt reunion for you guys. Where does that leave me? I can hardly call Gamzee a friend anymore. Who knows if my friendship with Terezi will ever be what it was before. I used to be pretty close with Kanaya, but now she and Rose never leave each other alone for more than a fucking minute. All my other friends are dead, and now we're leaving the dream bubbles behind. And then there's you, so I'm just wondering what happens. Aw, Cockat's insecure. Hey, Waffle, welcome in. How you doing? Cockat's being insecure. The meteor is about to enter the session, by the way. She's just about to hit a fan. Forgot the mayor. You're pretty damn tight with the mayor, aren't you? The mayor's friendship is a universal constant, and I'm insulted beyond comprehension, as well as my capacity to vomit, that you would insinuate otherwise. Yeah, the mayor rules, but as usual, you're overcomplicating this. Just like you overcomplicate everything. Friendship, leadership, romance, shipping grids, and dick battles. It's real simple. our meteor will somehow Tokyo drift to a dead stop in the new session. At which point, we'll keep being bros for life or something. I will start being friends with John and Jade again because they're my friends and never stop being that. John will also be your friend because he's cool and also a doofus who is easy to be friends with. Jade will be your friend too because she's nice and likes being friends with people. I can personally guarantee that she'll be happy to see you. And as for the new people, I don't know about them, but they'll probably be your friends too. All I know is 2 of them are my parents and 2 of them are John's parents. And ain't no rule that says you can't be friends with your bro's mom and pop. Especially when your bro's mom and pop are a couple of sassy teens. As for Terezi, I don't know, I guess we'll see what happens. And as for Gemsy, fuck that guy with the balloon poodle. Friendship lesson secured. The end. Oh, Terezi's waking up. Here we go. Oh, he's squishy. Yeah, it's almost like the statement you made, saying there isn't anything gentle about Carcat, wasn't true. Wow. What a shocker. How was your day, Waffle? Hope everything went well. Uh-oh, look who's starting to come around. Wake up, sleepyhead. Honk, honk, honk. Yeah, that's right. Time to face the fucking music. Act 6, Intermission 5, Intermission 1. That's right. You thought it was bad when we had acts inside acts. Now we got intermissions inside intermissions. Let's fucking go. Hey you, computer man. Computer man, I need more help. No. Computer man, assist me with more hot tips. No. Yes, I'm having trouble understanding Blue Hat. This is a shameful exploitation of our arrangement. We weren't supposed to talk anymore once you left Earth. I did not agree to those terms. Every time we talk, you complain that I am being self-indulgent. But you always come back for more. It's like you can't get enough of me. I think you might be obsessed. Give me more hot tips, arsehole. You only made that cow top so you could talk to me on the go, didn't you? No. Please don't lie. Who else would you use it to talk to in your solo session? Gamzee? Bet you haven't said one word to him through that device. You never even referred to him by his name. The clown has been an adequate peon. When it comes to doing things I don't want to do, there's no reason to speak to him through my fun helmet. You should try to be better friends with him. He basically ditched his best buddy for you. Who cares? He reveres you, and you treat him like shit. Yes, so? So, you're off to a pretty good start of being a god, I guess. Thank you. Look, I just said a polite thing. Now reward me with what I want. Ugh. Yellow Hat is very fast. As a minion, he's been very useful, but I'm having trouble determining the abilities of Blue Hat. Yellow Hat and Blue Hat. You should come up with better names for them than that. Like what? Like, I don't know, maybe some cool mobster names. Mobster names? Why would I give them mobster names? Because mobsters are cool. They don't look like mobsters. They look like fucking leprechauns. Anyone can be a mobster, though. Even cherubs and leprechauns. Being a mobster isn't about what you look like. It's about what's inside. Wow, that's so profound. Now stop talking, stalling, and give me tips. Are these the only 2 you've unlocked so far? Yes, I've conquered the 2nd planet, and have now travelled to the 3rd. Before I conquer this one, I would like to know what Blue Hat does. He's pretty much doing what he does. He seems to be stuck. Is he broken? No, he's just slow. What? Yeah, that's his power. Yellow Hat's fast, Blue Hat's slow. That's a horrible power. How is that even a power? It just is. I was looking forward to achieving more powerful minions, not more malingering fools to take up space in my dark carnival. Do they get better than this? Depends on what you mean by better. Oh my god. Okay, we're done. Bye. Do you remember when I said, a long, long time ago now, at the very beginning of April, that the Act 3 intermission was going to be really important for Act 6, for understanding Act 6? Here it is. The Midnight Crew intermission that had the felt, where you were Spade Slick going around destroying clocks and killing these fuckers, it explained all of their abilities. It explained exactly what they did, and it even said that they worked under Lord English. If that isn't, like, the worst thing to skip in order to understand this right here. Yeah, Waffle, like, Act 3 intermission is the Midnight Crew intermission, where you go around as Spade Slick, and you are killing the Felt, and also, you're destroying clocks. Because this guy, Lord English, Lord of Time. So you destroy clocks. Bro, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I do remember the intermission. Interesting that you remember the intermission, actually. I was expecting you to say you don't remember it, so that's surprising. But yeah. I really wanted you guys to try and at least remember the intermission. But yeah. The intermission's kind of important if you want to understand, like, Caliborn's journey through the game, you know? Alright. Let's go. End of Act 6, Intermission 5, Intermission 1. The ship has arrived. Oh, the sprites are here. Jaspers and Nana. Wake up, sleepyhead. Wait, why'd I even say that? Stay asleep all you want, like I give a fuck. John's sleeping. We're kind of missing some important shit here. We spent 3 faux relativistic years cruising through the metaphysical ass crack nowhere. And when we finally get here, you're all tuckered out. Like, y'all didn't sleep enough on this boat already. Some of the sick, nastiest shut-eye anyone ever got out of this friggin' boat. Dude, this is a big deal. Everyone's waiting for us out there. I mean, probably. I know where we are, some green hill place with all these stone hedges sprinkled around. Do you know there could be a plurality of stone hedges? I didn't, but guess fucking what? Hedges aplenty where this place is concerned. Hey, where's Jake? Stonehenge is nice, by the way. Stonehenge is really nice. I guess she left already. Maybe there was an emergency somewhere and her dog has sent his letter there. Maybe someone fell down a well. What do you think, John? Do you think our teen parents fell down a well? Nah, I sincerely doubt any of them would be that pathetic. Whatever it was, must have been important enough for Jade to ditch us like this. Either that, or maybe she was desperate to finally get away from me. Between you and me, John, I didn't really handle things with her as well as I could have. Oh well, maybe real Dave would treat her better. Or not, I don't know. I did her a favor cutting Bird Dave out of her life. Nobody really deserves Bird Dave as boyfriend, nor a friend, or anything. It's like getting one of the janky Daves from the bargain bin at Dave Depot. Or one of the marked down Daves the day after National Dave Day. It's like somebody taxidermized your Dave and expected you not to notice. Feathers? What feathers? Haha. No, that Dave's totally normal and okay. You should just go back to being bros with real Dave when you see him. I'll be fine. I'll just flap around and do my thing alone. I'm completely alright with that at this point. We had our ups and downs, John, but all in all, it was cool to go on this road trip with you. There were some times, man. The times, I'm telling you, they were unreal. I bet you people would pay good money to see every second of the madcap stunts were going down on the ship basically 24/7. If hulls could talk. Wow. Huh. Just joking. It was seriously boring as hell. But I mean, it was still cool. So, yeah. Hey, what's that ring anyway? I seen you with that ring before. I guess I was just like, okay, John has a magic ring for some reason. No, didn't mention that or anything. Where'd you even get it? You can't even hear me, can you? Got your snooze on so hard. I ain't gonna wake you up to hassle you about no ring. Probably should have said all this stuff when you were awake anyway. A lot of stuff about friendship. Fuck it. I'll just leave another one of my patented magic notes taped to your shoe or your cowlick or something. My magic notes rule, I'll miss leaving them taped on stuff. I sure do talk to myself a lot, don't I? Wow. Why have I never made this observation? I probably needed to be a bird for exactly 3 years to finally have that epiphany. I wonder if real Dave ever had that epiphany. Probably not, because he's not a bird. Bottom line is, being a guy who's also a bird makes you think. Anyway, I'm out. The music's very appropriate. Mainly just remember the part from our pinned comments. Oh, the bull penis? Yeah. Also, the cosplayers that are featured in here is crazy. But yes, happy birthday, John. Have some watermarks. Have some watermarks for the road. Alright. Act 6. Intermission 5. Intermission 2. I unlocked more gnomes. A bomb full of hats, a fist full of penis, and a head full of empty. Exactly, yes. I thought they were leprechauns. I don't care what they are. Okay. I have now conquered 4 planets, and have the same amount of gnomes under my command. Yellow hat, blue hat, red hat, and now purple hat. Congratulations. The planets are becoming increasingly difficult to conquer. I almost did not manage to destroy the purple planet within the allotted time. Unfortunately, the quality of the unlocked gnome has not increased to match the escalating difficulty of my quest. It seems to be just the opposite. These gnomes are shit. What's wrong with the new gnomes? Okay, Red Hat. He has no fucking powers at all, unless his power is to follow me around constantly. Yes, that's basically what he does. Purple Hat is even worse. Is his power to dance around all the time while singing riddles to me? Yes. Awful. Purple Hat's behavior is so infuriating. I've attempted to murder him several times, but to no avail. You can't kill Purple Hat, he's too lucky. That's also his power, being really lucky. What good does that do me? I don't know. Get him to solve puzzles for you. Use him as a human shield sometimes. I mean, a gnome shield. Oh yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Shouldn't be whining about how lame your minions are. As you accumulate more, your job is obviously to combine their talents in creative ways to overcome the increasingly difficult challenges on your quest. Synergize your time gnomes, make them more than the sum of their pointy hats. That's going to be difficult. They're all idiots. Nobody said it would be easy. Fine. I have no more questions for now. Hey, did you kill that cute turtle? No, but I can see your past trail. You're standing there holding a gun, pointing it at the turtle. Okay then, yes, I killed the turtle. Boo. Yeah, he killed the turtle. This is funny. End of Act 6, Intermission 5, Intermission 2. So we're going to have brief intermissions with Caliborn, like, going through his solo session, where he basically has to conquer planets. So he has a really difficult session, remember? Oh. He's dreaming. Hey, it's the blue boy again. See him there? Just off the starboard shit? Yo, watch how far away I can fork him from. Mina, put the trident down. Don't make me confiscate it again. Confiscate. Hey, it's John. Vriska? Is that you? Yeah, get over here. Alright. Oh, great. Nice to see you again, John. It's been too long. Yeah, actually, hasn't it been exactly a year? I think it was my birthday last time we met, too. A year for you, maybe. Who even knows how long it's been out here, but who cares? The point is, as you can see, the plan I described to you before is in full swing. You mean the big treasure hunt with all those blank maps? Yes, but they aren't black anymore. Not totally. Everything's gone exactly as I intended. English has taken the bait, hook, line, and sinker. He's been chasing our extended party around the ring, blowing shit up with his monster breath, thus revealing the path to the treasure in the process. I must say, for an evil mastermind, the guy's kind of a dope. Supposedly, his every move is a carefully calculated ploy to assure his existence in the first place. Yet here he is wrecking the joint like an oaf, unwittingly helping the hero find the weapon that'll finally take him down. I need a drink. And we're almost there, too. Although by now, it's become embarrassingly obvious the treasure was hidden right around where we started all along. These maps have just been leading us all in a big stupid circle. I should have seen it coming. I guess that's my bad. In terms of bonehead moves, that's English 1, Vriska 1. So I guess we're even, but... Anyway. But maybe we don't have to mention that detail when we document my heroism in the annals of greatness. Mention what exactly? Exactly. I almost forgot how deceptively quick you are in the uptake, John. That's not so impressive. I was confused by what you were saying, too. Yep, Christ went past on a bike. Tavros, if you're going to interrupt, don't mumble. And even then, don't. Anyway, I really don't mind the fact that these cryptic treasure maps have led us all on a wild honk-bird chase. Yeah, rude bite. I can't wait till I get his fucking license plate. Ooh, it's gonna be a day. I've never once complained about a good long treasure hunt, and I'm not about to start now. Besides, with the way space-time works out here, who can say for sure we would be able to find the treasure at all unless we traced this exact path? Nobody can say that is who, least of all English, who as far as I know, can't actually speak so much as issue blood-curdling roars that cleave the foundations of reality itself. You're of course welcome to join us on our adventure for as long as you're asleep. We could use another hand on deck. I'll even give you a rank and title. You get to be lower than me. That's the fairest rule. Wrong. Tavros, who's the captain here? Last time I checked, it wasn't Swabby Nitrim Poopmaster. Oh, Poopmaster Extraordinaire. Oh, by the way, hi Tavros, how have you been? Okay. Cool pirate outfit you have there. No, thanks, but it's not cool, it's dumb. Vriska wants me to wear it, though, so I do, so she'll be happy. Don't ask me where my pants are. I wasn't going to. We all look amazing as pirates. This is non-negotiable. No argument here. What about the rest of your crew? I remember her, the punky one who always likes to stab me with her spear. But I really hope she doesn't do that this time. Dream on, blue nerd. You in my crosshairs, sucker. Got you right where I want. Just biding my time. Biding and biting. Gonna hunt you till we both double dead. You're my obsession, little blue fish. My shrimpy is the whales. My Mobius the dicks. Call me Fishmail. Stop it. But I don't know the one that looks kind of like your sister. What's your name? Arania. Hi. And what about those two over there? These are my friends, Arania and Solix. I recruited them for this expedition as specialists. They aren't really here to do any fighting, but their abilities will become useful once we retrieve the treasure. Hello. Hi, are you alive? Your eyes do not look spooky and ghostly. Thanks. Yes, I'm alive. Yeah, and apparently she intends to stay that way, hence her principled, if somewhat lame commitment to pacifism. But considering our history together, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. I'm happy to have her on my crew in whatever capacity she likes. Your history? What happened? Wait, that's a rude question. Vriska killed her too. She used the other guy there, tragically, as the death weapon. Hey! What did I say about bygones being bygones? That's like rule fucking 1 of this ship. Anyway, she became a robot and killed me back, so obviously we're cool now. Jeez, why does everyone die so much? Lol, like this guy's the one to talk. Solix, don't make our guest uncomfortable. He's already uncomfortable, and he should be. We all should be. Really, I haven't thought about any of that in a long time. Ancient conflicts don't mean anything to me anymore, but I was more than thrilled by the opportunity to go on another adventure like this. We used to enjoy such campaigns together all the time when we were younger. Of course, now the teams are a little different. Yeah, man, those were the days. What about you? Why do you have double eye patches? Because I'm blind, stupid? I can't tell if you're alive, too, or not. Because I can't see if your eyes are spooky. They're spooky as shit, but yes, I'm alive. Okay, here's the short version. I used to be able to see, but then I went blind. Then I used my powers too hard and died, but it turns out I was only half dead. Half dead? Let me finish. So the ghost half of me could see again, so I was only half blind. But then somebody prototyped my corpse, which I guess sucked the ghost half out of me, out of my body, to make me fully alive again, also fully blind. And now the ghost part of my soul is sharing the sprite body with fucking Eridan of all people. Who's Eridan? Just the douche who blinded me in the first place, it doesn't even matter. Alright. But I don't think I quite followed all that. What does being half-dead mean? You know, forget it. I'm so sick of telling the story to people over and over, and nobody understanding what the hell I'm talking about. It's all so simple. No, actually, it isn't. It's a fucking stupid story that makes no sense. Maybe that's a problem. My marginal existence is fraught with so much pointless duality and complicated nonsense, I'm done even trying to explain it. From now on, I should just wear a shirt that says, "Don't ask me about my disability or my mortality." Then everything will be fine. It's really kind of a shame Gamzee prototyped Eridan's torso parts and swiped his ghost from the afterlife. I bet he would have had a great time on this voyage. I used to own him during our nautical campaigns all the time. If he was on the ship, I'd walk the plank and plummet through the fake-ass water through infinite nowhere forever. Besides, you act like you haven't already recruited at least 50 fucking Eridans from Dune timelines into your army. You really are shamefully prejudiced against our alternate reality ghost selves. They're just as real as we are, and have the same emotions and everything. Give me a break, Solix. As if you don't view them the exact same way. You've got real Eridan, and then pretty much a whole bunch of pretenders out there. They're all real. Shit. I don't even like Eridan, but here I am sticking up for the copies. See, you just called them copies. Even you can't avoid accidentally using a problematic slur, which reveals that no matter what you believe about your morals, deep down you're always going to favor the original, while viewing all the others as duplicates of lesser value. Oh, whatever. Whatever. Rationalize the collateral damage to your army all you want. And to think, before I joined your party, I heard rumors you might have changed. Like, learn to be a better person or something. Yeah, right. Oh, please. I hardly think I'm a bad person for failing to give a shit about a billion meaningless dead Nepidas. Do you? No, you're not a bad person for that particular reason, I guess. What am I seriously supposed to do? Fly around and befriend each one individually? Sorry, I have better things to do with my time. Let's try to be at least somewhat practical here. I've met most of those Nepidas. They're all very nice. Oh, shut up. I just need to blow my nose real quick. One sec. Oh, my allergies. Hospital, allergy. And the worst part is my allergies are only going to get worse the more we get into summer. Oh, God. Making it now, please. And, what about all those ships up ahead? Are they part of the treasure hunt, too? Of course. That's my army. Okay, I mean our army. My kingdom for aircon. I'm getting an I'm getting an air conditioner. I am. This year, I'm so doing it. The moment I get paid next, I'm getting one. I think they're like 200 quid, but I have no choice. I have to do it. Because my flat is too fucking warm, bro. Too warm. But, like, on boats. Isn't an army on boats usually called a navy? God, I need one bad. It's okay. Listen, Waffle, if your place ever gets so unbearably warm that you need an escape from it, I'll let you, like, camp in my living room. I'll just let you, like, hole up in my living room for a weekend or something. You can stay on the sofa bed. You could be like, yeah, sorry, Mom, I need to get out of this place. There's no fucking air conditioning. You'll get a huge supply of fucking stamina potions. Put it on your throne, I'll help buy it. Liv, no. You have so much you need to get. Don't be ridiculous. Also, it's already on my fucking throne. The problem is, when it's a crowd-funded item, once money is contributed towards that, you can't remove it. So I would have to wait until all the money is raised for the air conditioner. And I don't know how long that would even take. You know what I mean? So, like, it's probably better to just let me buy it. It sucks because it is, like, a massive chunk of my money. Don't get paid till tomorrow. Oh, why is that a damn it? Isn't that really good? But, like, also, you should be using your money for your own shit. John, help me out. I seem to be having trouble remembering which one of us is the captain. Was it the Doric in blue pajamas, or was it the veteran sailor in the rad captain's coat? That's right. The captain was me. And I say it's an army that happens to be on a bunch of boats. Oh, oh damn, he got smoked. Wow, so smoked. Nina, did you catch those sick fires? No, but for real, it pretty much is a navy, just saying. Who's in the army? Thousands of ghosts, primarily those of old friends and acquaintances. That's insane. Vriska is mind-controlling thousands. Wait, I forgot this happened. I actually straight up forgot this happened. Wait, what? Vriska's mind-controlling thousands of ghosts. We've amassed a coalition of eager volunteers ready to lay down their ghost lives for a worthy cause. You mean fighting Lord English? When we're ready for that, yes, but we need the treasure first. So now they're sailing well ahead of us in large numbers to attract his attention, so he can do more damage to the ring and fill out the rest of our maps. We should be very grateful for their bravery. They're making a noble sacrifice for us all. Bravery, yeah, right. Mostly sure she's mind-controlling them. God damn it, Tavros, we really don't need your play-by-play commentary on everything. Wait, you're mind-controlling all these ghosts? No. Well, not all of them. Once you group enough together, others tend to latch onto the mob out of curiosity. We trolls have a way of clustering together naturally. You've got to understand, John, most of these people are pretty self-absorbed. They just need a little bit of persuasion to join the cause. Word. Yeah, but isn't that still kinda, dickish? But all these stubborn jackasses are gonna double die anyway if we don't all work together and kill this guy. This is war, John. In times of war, difficult decisions have to be made with the lives of many. Just think of me as a general giving orders to my troops. It just happens that the orders are a little more direct in this case. Hey, Circuit Deuce. Let's not lose track of who's actually in charge of this shit, okay? Yeah. All hail her imperious teen condescension, the fresh new face of tyranny, Supreme Admiral Paces. At this time, I would like to motion for a 15-minute bowing break so that we may demonstrate our reverence for this bold, spunky leader. Yes. Tavros, stop bowing. That was a joke. No, keep doing that. Lower, Swabby. Lower. Face on the fucking deck. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. How do you mind control so many ghosts at once? Isn't that kind of hard? Well, I do have a little help, John. Did I mention? My ancestor. She's the best. She is? I must admit, I was not in favor of the idea at first, but I just realized that wasn't Vriska. That was Arania. My bad. I must admit, I was not in favor of the idea at first, but Vriska made a very strong case for using our combined powers this way. In a perfect reality, no one would have to get hurt, but the stakes are too high to be shying away from such measures. See what I mean? The best. It's been It has been wonderful spending so much time on this adventure with my descendant. Not just because it's helped me get to know her better, but because it's opened my eyes to things about myself I was never really in touch with. There are certain capabilities within me that I have never quite been able to face. She's helped me realize, and I've been hiding from them all my life. And well beyond. It must be true, what they used to say on my world, that if you really want to know who you are, look to the legacy left behind by your ancestor. I think that wisdom works in both directions. Well put, Marquise. I've always felt the same way. Puke. Oh my god, the Cirque twins being a door bubble again. Nitram, get your mop ready for swabbing up all this vomit coming out of my mouth. Ew, no. Can you two stick a fork in the sentimental carp? Maybe pretend you ain't hit it off so good. You ever stop and think how this makes me feel? There's no reason to be jealous, Mina. You know nothing has changed about our friendship. Jealous? Bitch, no, just makes me think I'm my kid descendant. And how instead of having this cool frenzy relation with her, I just got this uncontrollable urge to stab her to death so she don't threaten my supremacy. Which is a shame, because she's so cute. Goddamn my royal blood and the cray junk it makes me have to do. Oh well. Maybe someday I'll find an heiress who my genes don't instinctively make me want to murder on sight. Then I can teach her the badass ways of being a boss and shit. God, trolls are so weird. John just said trolls are weird. He said it quietly, but I heard him. Hey, you snitch. Yeah, but aren't we? Moral of the story is Blue Kid is a dumb nerd, but is right when he says stuff. Look at that, it's like me and him are becoming fast friends, thus lulling him into a sense of false confidence already. What? Soon, my little whale. Soon. It is true. To a human, the ways of trolls from both Alternia and before us will seem very strange. In fact, prior to uniting in the afterlife, even the two groups of trolls were reasonably alien to one another. I've had a great deal of time to study the cultures of many species throughout Paradox Space. No matter which race you belong to, one can always find another whose ideals pose a challenge of comprehension to even the most open-minded. And though the ethical standards of those from Alternia may seem unpalatable to you, rest assured there are beings elsewhere in the cosmos whose violent behavior would be considered extreme even to most trolls. Actually, John, I'm very glad you brought this up, because I was in the middle of a wonderful story about this very subject when you interrupted, when you boarded our ship. Oh, sorry. No, that's fine. Really. I'm quite pleased you did. This way I get to start over from the beginning. There are going to be some rough patches in my original telling. There were some rough patches in my original telling, which I can go back and fix. This time, it'll be much better. Oh. What's this story about? It's a tale about a very mysterious alien race called cherubs. Let us begin. Once upon a time... World building. There was a race. There was a very mysterious alien race called cherubs. Arania, I thought you said you fixed the shitty parts of the story. You started with a crappy line the first time too. The opening line is fine. It's I guess. Not. Oh, shut up and let me tell my story. Now, where was I? There was a very mysterious alien race called cherubs. Right. There was a very mysterious alien race called cherubs. But there was one cherub in particular who, for at least the first half of our story, will be our heroine. Yo. We're about to get a lore drop. We're about to get a cherub lore drop. Let's fucking go. Hope you got the Google Doc ready. She spent eons roaming around her galaxy, completely alone. But the time had come for her to find a mate. Yeah, lore, let's go. This is no small task for a cherub. Being an asocial species, they spend virtually no time in each other's presence at all, aside from when it's time to mate. They may go their... They may go their entire lives without encountering another, and so they scatter their numbers throughout space, each staking a territory spanning many light years. But like a predator is able to crack the scent of its prey, a cherub can sense the presence of another nearby. This sense is especially strong if that cherub shares the same qualities as its other half once had long ago, before it experienced the maturation process known as predomination. You see, when a young cherub hatches, it would appear that only one creature has begun its life, but the appearance is not to be trusted. The young cherub actually consists of two completely distinct beings, a male and a female, each sharing one body. The two halves are endowed with polar opposite predispositions as well. One predisposed towards malevolence, another towards benevolence, good or evil, if you prefer to deal in simplistic terms, or at least those which are convenient for the sake of the story. I prefer to view the dichotomy as a kind of moral alignment, like an attribute that dictates the choice a character makes in certain types of games I used to play. The male and female halves can be aligned either way, as long as they differ from each other. The resulting conflict between the two personalities is central to life as a cherub, both before and after predomination. Shortly after hatching, the two halves begin vacillating, taking turns controlling the body. The only physical differentiation between the two is the coloration of their cheek swirls, which indicates alignment. There is otherwise no way to tell male and female apart before a cherub predominates. The vacillation process is demarcated by sleep. When the male goes to sleep, the female wakes up, and when the male wakes up, again, the female sleeps. And so it goes back and forth like this. As the two identities vie for dominance over the other, and ultimately permanent control over the body, they grow to detest one another, and develop a view of social interaction centered entirely around animosity and confrontation. For good cherubs, this readies them for a long life of isolation, as they will prefer to avoid the sort of conflict that comes with social interaction, as they've been conditioned to understand it. But for evil ones, the contentious upbringing only serves to fuel their inclination to harm others. And though this duality makes for a tormented childhood, the inner conflict it creates is an extremely important part of a young cherub's life. The defining part, actually. It is the struggle a cherub must overcome to mature, and this process culminates in predomination. One half will prove to have a stronger will than the other. The less dominant half will then weaken over time, and it will eventually become clear to both that one will not survive. The dominant personality will then completely consume the other, integrating it in such a way that only one is left. The cheeks will become solidly colored, and the cherub will grow to maturity as a single being endowed with the alignment of the dominant half, and with all his or her personal qualities at the forefront of the union. In the case of our heroine, she was the good half, and the day of her predomination was in a sense the day her brother died. And though it was to her benefit and personal growth, because of this loss, she would always live with a sense that something was missing. Every sexually mature cherub lives with this feeling, drives them to seek out another cherub similarly to the half they lost, the part of their being which they grew up in perpetual conflict with. The desire to travel the universe in hopes of reigniting that conflict is very important to their species. It's the force which compels them to procreate. So she set out to track his scent, as it were, and soon she found a physical trail as well, a path of carnage left behind by a particularly destructive male cherub. She followed the debris from civilized worlds and star systems she left behind, as if to mock her, to make it clear he knew of her pursuit, and was all but paving her way with the dead. His brutality made her more furious, thus setting the mood, so to speak, for their imminent courtship. Oh my god. These two right here are fan trolls. Minor lore drop on the side. Hussey said you can put your fan troll in Homestuck and make them canon for $10,000. So, I shit you not, 2 people paid $10,000 for their fucking fan trolls to be put in Homestuck. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so serious. As a cherub of his alignment is seemingly motivated by little other than to conquer and destroy, from a bio-existential perspective, they behave somewhat like viruses, attacking the system from within. But as with all symbiotic organisms living within a universe, there are balancing factors. While those inhabiting an evil cherub's territory will regard it as an unpredictable tyrant, those in the territory of a good cherub will likely come to view it as a protector, waiting quietly for millennia in deep space, ready to attack any encroaching threat. In that sense, they're not unlike cells in a universal immune system. And those fan trolls are now dead on the next panel. $10,000 for one panel of your fan trolls being alive, and then in the next, vaporized. Wow. I hope that was well spent. You spoke too soon. You spoke far too soon. This balance of forces allows stability such that life and new civilizations can blossom and thrive within a universe, thus assuring the possibility of its own elaborate procreation process. But if that balance was ever disturbed, it would lead to chaos in that biosystem. The universe could not survive for long, and if by some means a cherub with such destructive tendencies were to achieve unprecedented power, the resulting imbalance would be catastrophic for the paradox space itself. And though the heroine of our story could have no way of knowing, this is exactly what would result from the pursuit of her chismesis. Like humans, cherubs perceive romance through only one quadrant. Unlike humans, their relationships are exclusively black, but their mating ritual is much more violent than any practiced trolls would, or even physically could, engage in. And though it is critical to the perpetuation of their race, the confrontations can sometimes be lethal to one or both cherubs. Regardless of the outcome, the stakes are always high. The winner of the duel will assume control of the other's territory, while the loser will slink away to bear the offspring. So, as she toured the planetary wreckage, she knew her quest for a mate was not just about the propagation of her species, but the liberation of billions from a monster. She pursued him for many sweeps with mounting obsession, until one day the trail came to an end at a black hole. Cherubs typically seek out black holes as a setting for their mating ritual, but not any black hole. Once, long ago, it was a star, and circling that star was a planet. That planet was home to one of the presently sparring cherubs. The male in this case returned to the site of his hatching to mate, a location now conspicuously occupied by a truly massive black hole. This is where she found him, and this was where they would duel. While an adult cherub is a fearsome creature and would be a formidable opponent to anyone in its unaltered state, this is not the form in which they do battle with each other. The ritual is more extreme and physically demanding than any other kind of courtship or duel in the universe. The moment they meet, they will both undergo a dramatic metamorphosis. The mates will then duel as two vast, frightening serpents, each an astronomical unit in length. They transform into big space snakes, and fight. The tangled struggle between the green Oz is exceedingly brutal and can last for sweeps. While dueling is in such a monstrous form, their energy is inexhaustible. The transformation taps into the cherub's latent connection with the enigmatic forces presiding over all that is eternal, and permeating all those endowed with immortality. Normally, this power is only accessible to them during mating. In this form, they are only able to be injured by one another, and are otherwise indestructible. Hence, the ritual can never be stopped by an outside force until it is complete. It's a Mobius double reach around. Hey. It should come as no surprise that in this story our heroine was victorious. Upon defeating her mate, she initiated the interlocking formation to complete the coupling. While assuming the dominant position, a stance undetectable to all but most astute observers of the zoologically dubious, consequently the male was fertilized with the young. Empreg, let's go! He then slithered away in disgrace from the territory he'd just lost. A cherub looking to nest will search for a dead planet situated near a massive dying star. The egg is deposited on the planet's surface, and the rising temperature from the expanding red giant will incubate the egg until it's ready to hatch. Later in life, the cherub will grow wings, assuming it has matured properly. And if it's learned to fly well enough to reach a safe distance from the nest before the star goes supernova, soon the hungry cherub will return and feast on the resulting stellar energy. Doing so allows it to gain enough strength to travel great distances and claim its own territory. Was not expecting Mpreg and Homestuck. I mean, they're aliens. Also, that means that canonically, Lord English could get pregnant. Just saying. Something to think about. I wonder if there are any Lord English Mpregs. I'm not gonna search it up though. I feel like that's a corner of Homestuck that I don't need to go to. You know what I never wrote though? I never wrote any Omegaverse Homestuck. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Hell yeah. I'm probably gonna have to go on that. Also, sushi, delish. Hell yeah. When I eventually take my break, I'm probably gonna have some ice cream. It's got some ice cream in the fridge. Hehe. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream today, because I might go to Morrison's later. And I need some more stamina potion and some snacks. I'm all out of snacks, and snacks are what get me through the day and stop me from, like, overeating, you know? I gotta watch my weight. I put on those 2 kilos, but it was muscle. I don't wanna ruin my fucking workout routine. Later in life, the cherub will grow wings, assuming it has matured properly, and if it has learned to fly well enough to reach a safe distance from the nest before the star goes supernova. Oh, I read that. Doing so allows it to gain enough strength to travel great distances and claim its own territory. The star will then collapse into a black hole, serving as a distinct gravitational beacon to the cherub later in life, so it may return there to mate. As it happens, our heroine's mate discovered Earth long after it had journeyed to a new sun, and long since new civilizations had arisen and fallen. Now on the brink of destruction from its dying star, its barren accommodations were ideal for a young cherub. There, he deposited his single egg and flew away, never to return. No cherub ever spawns more than one offspring at a time, for it is every cherub's destiny to grow up alone, or alone on the outside at least. From that egg hatched one very special cherub with 2 names, one that few will ever know, and one that few should ever say. A fascinating thing about cherub reproduction is how the parent's alignment is passed on to the young. If the male lays the egg, the alignments of the child's two halves will be the same as the parent's. If the female lays the egg, the alignments will be flipped, and the young male and female halves will be endowed with the opposite alignments of the parents. As such, the male half took after his father. Perhaps the son even exceeded him in violent tendencies. It's hard to imagine there has ever been a cherub more willfully destructive or as stubbornly dedicated to conquest than the monstrosity he would grow up to become. Look who it is. Due to his indomitable nature, I believe victory over his sister was a foregone conclusion. Barring a highly improbable glitch in causality, it would be almost impossible for her to predominate over someone like him, and even so, he didn't have the patience to wait. Unfortunately for everyone to ever exist, he discovered a way to predominate early. Yet, it was not this act alone that would prove ominous, so much as the means through which it was achieved. He was allowed to become the solo player of a game which his kind was never meant to play. And so, it is with predomination of her son that our heroine's story ends, and the story of our villain begins. Hey, Mina, where are you going? I'm taking a gape a break, God. But the story isn't over yet. Girl, your stories never end. My bladder can't even deal. Just keep talking while I'm gone. No, that's okay. We can wait. I already heard the damn story, though. Not all of it. Glubba fuck. Can you just keep yapping about snake sex while I hit the little grub's room already? I'm afraid not. Everyone must listen to the full story. Oh my fucking god, you really are turning evil, aren't you? I'd be proud except how terrible and boring the actual consequences are for me personally. Wait, does that mean when you're a ghost, you still have to pee? None of your business, blue kid. That's so weird. Am I the only one who thinks that's weird? No, John, it's definitely pretty weird that ghosts have to pee. You get used to life as a ghost pretty fast, though. But weren't you already pretty used to peeing when you were alive? Yeah, that's why you get used to it pretty fast, dummy. This is kind of a stupid conversation. Can we hear more about the snakes and whatnot? It's a pretty cool story. Yes, as soon as Mina returns from her visit to the load gaper. Holy mackerel, you shit fucks. Just enjoy your space lizard porn while I take a fucking piss. I think we could all stand to take a brief intermission from the story regardless, to let all these intriguing facts about cherubs sink in. Ugh, you and your intermissions. What is with your intermissions? They ain't even intermissions most of the time. They're just an excuse to tell another dumb story inside the longer dumb story. Yes, Mina, you are correct, and your reservations are noted. However, would it change your mind if I were to propose not an intermission, but an interfission? Fine, let's do the interfission thing. You said 'cause of fish. BRB, you scrubs. Begin interfission. It's a sound one. Let's go. Let's do it. Hey, Petchka fell down like Kepta. So, what are we doing here? I see. Okay, thanks, bye. Mina just noped out of there so fast. Alright. End of Intermission. Alright. I've also unlocked the album Cherubim, but my body was hiding it. Sorry about that. Let's continue. Anyway, where was I? Heroine's story ends and the villain's story begins, I think. Yes, that's right. It is with the predomination of her son that our heroine's story ends and the story of our villain begins. But as we all know, beginnings are not always so easy to pinpoint in Paradox space. One could say his story began the day he claimed immortality, or the moment his being was inexplicably confined to a MacGuffin, allowing him access to any realm in which his vessel would capriciously materialize. But for the sake of linearity, we may as well say his story began the day he and his sister hatched. When a cherub hatches, the two undeveloped personalities mingle together in the same body. There is not yet a clear division between the two. It will then consume the eggshell for the vital nutrients it contains. The sugary snack is irresistible to the starving wiggler. Once it finishes its first meal, the two personalities will be pulled apart for good, and the child will pupate. The two halves then begin vacillating with their sleep cycles, as I described. As you might expect, the female child was as cheerful and friendly as could be. Oh, Daddy Gamzee! Daddy Gamzee! He's a father! Papa Gamzee! She took after her mother in every way. At least, the way her mother used to be, long before she was hardened by centuries of isolation and an obsessive pursuit of justice. And to just as little surprise, the male child was an insufferable brat. It is just as well that cherub parents abandon their offspring. Raising such a child by the familial standards of any race would be a monumental challenge. Nevertheless, it would seem there were those who tried. Details of my research suggest our villain had a number of acolytes operating in the shadows, preparing for his arrival. We'll probably never know who these scurrilous conspirators were. But it's evident at some point the cherub was locked in a room, either out of exasperation or for its own good, until it was old enough to enter the session. The children were left with everything a young cherub could ever want. Teresi! Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Welcome in. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you enjoy yourself here. Please read the chat rules. And, yeah. I really hope you're not black romming with Gamzee, because that's currently what's happening right now. Hey, welcome in, welcome in. Hope you're having a good time. My name is Porphyra Minos. I am a demon incubus from the second circle of hell. I'm actually the ruler of the second circle of hell. I'm the prince of lust. And I'm a VTuber. So yeah, welcome in. Came in at just the right time, huh? Definitely. You came in at the right time for us to scrutinize the Black Rom relationship. Jade and John just entered the alpha session. Jade has now gone Grimbark. We also have Crocketeer as well. That just happened. And the meteor is about to land in the alpha session. And Carcat's losing his mind. So yeah. Everything is a mess. But we're learning about the cherubs right now. Arani is doing a dump. A lore dump. So yeah. Everything is a mess. Everyone's falling apart, and it's because they're teenagers and they don't know what they're doing. But welcome in. You're more than welcome to be here. Try not to spoil too much, because there are a couple of people in the chat, my mods and Waffle, who have never read Homestuck before, and they've been here on this journey. And actually, we're only like almost 2,000 pages away, which is pretty good from the end. Keep my lips sealed. Yeah. But you can keep your people's people. That's totally fine. But we can talk about things that happen at the time. That's totally okay. Alright. Should we get back into it? Reading glasses on. And also, just let you know, there is a pinned message. If you ever want to get my intention, you want me to look at chat, or you want to ask me a question, you can use the command !page, which, by the way, is on a cooldown, just to let you know. It makes my stream deck flash in my face and stops me from hyperfocusing. So, there you go. Because I do hyperfocus, I'm neurospicy. The average Homestuck experience. Yeah, everything's just being force-fed to my mods. I'm locking them in the basement and forcing them to learn. They have a Google Doc that I review. I wish I was joking, but there really is a Google Doc that I review. Just so you know, I've been a Homestuck for over 10 years now. And I am a Sylph of Mind. But I used to be a Knight of Life. And I am a Purple Blood. I'm just here. Yeah, Waffle's just here for the ride. I should also let you know that I don't always look like this. Sometimes I look like this. And pretty soon, in about 8 days, I'm going to get a new model, which will be debuted in 2 weeks. And it looks like this. So, there you go. That's what I'm going to look like pretty soon. Only been for 5? Oh, yeah, I'm an OG. We're getting very close to the part of Homestuck where I, like, caught up and was waiting for updates. So, I remember I joined during the Gigapause. And then, shortly after the Gigapause ended, we got game over. Like, I joined the fandom, binged all of Homestuck that there was, then the Gigapause ended, and I was hit with game over. Like a direct punch to the face. The Pesacham vibe, the overlay has. Thank you! It's a free overlay that you can just get, which is nice. It's really nice that Homestuck's made this overlay. It's very cool. So yeah, I can't take credit for it. I did not make it. I edited it slightly, just so that it, like, you know, fit some of my things. Like my chum handle, which is Amorous Cacodemon, because I'm obviously an incubus. But yeah. I'm glad you like everything so far. My just chatting screen, by the way, because you're new here, I feel like I should give you the tour. My just chatting screen is, it has a few Homestuck references. Oh, I'm making my mascot smaller. That's not my intention. There we go. Adequate Alien. Ooh, nice. Double A. Very nice. So yeah, we got a lot of references to Homestuck in here, including a body pillow I actually do have. Actually, both of these. One of them's in the mail and on the way, and the other one I've had for like 10 years. Yes, the Jake English one, I've had it for 10 years. I really am that person. Oh, God. So, yeah. Wait, I'm making my symbol bigger. Why is nothing locked? What's going on here? What is this? Unlock, lock. There we go. Everything's locked now. Nothing should do that again. So yeah. Alright, let's get back into it. Alright. Also, thank you, Stream Elements. Let's get back into it, shall we? The children were left with everything a young cherub could ever want. Meat, candy, compute. Oh my god, meat candy. Hospital. Meat, candy, computers, a lifetime supply of special stardust, and of course their precious MacGuffins. The acolytes had clearly gone to great lengths to harvest such items from all over the cosmos, so they could lavish their young master with gifts. They may have been prisoners, yes, but if you ask me, these children were very spoiled. While the female was preparing for a collaborative approach to the game, the male was plotting furiously against her. He never had any intention of working with her. As far as he was concerned, the game was his, and his alone to conquer. One day he put his plan into motion. He had his sister's dream self assassinated on Prospect. The next time she went to sleep, she would never wake up again. When her brother woke up, he became the sole occupant of the body. He then freed himself from his chains and launched the session by himself. But this game was never meant to be played solo. Its format is inherently cooperative. The diversity of players, the combination of their efforts and aspects, this is what awakens the true creative potential of the game. Without them, a session will wither and die. If one enters alone, it completely alters the nature of the game. It changes its purpose. For a solo player, a challenging quest becomes an insurmountable one. A reward of infinite promise becomes a boon far more sinister. Sorry, my brain read that as soon, and I have no idea why. The gauntlet which the player must overcome is seemingly designed to be impossible. For all intents and purposes, it's not actually a game at all. It's a death sentence for any player foolish enough to accept the challenge. But it bears repeating. This was a very special cherub. He entered what is called a dead session. This qualifies as both a null and void session, but is even less than either of those. Compared to a typical session, it is almost unrecognizable. Before the game begins, Skya is blotted out with a dark layer of clouds. Its light is extinguished for good. There is no planet waiting for the player in the medium, so instead, he brought it with him. But when he arrived, there was no heroic journey for him to embark on. There was nothing. No sprite, no consorts, no underlings. The land had no name. Those things all needed to be unlocked. To unlock his true quest, he was forced to undergo a series of excruciatingly tedious trials. Only then would the way to the planet's core be revealed. There he would consult with the most monstrous denizen of all. If you remember, that was Yaldabaoth. And while such trials might discourage most players from even trying, our villain's response was quite the contrary. He was only emboldened by the mind-numbing chores. He took to them with gusto, as if performing them out of spite. With perseverance, he found the final door and unlocked it. Waiting for him on the other side was a terrible creature named Yaldabaoth. His denizen would allow him a brief audience, one just long enough for him to make the choice. We got an S page. Alright. Quiet. Is anyone else getting flashbanged? No denizen has ever been mistaken for pleasant company, but the self-proclaimed god of all monsters is notoriously inhospitable to his players. His choices are known for their wild extremes, and to this player, in this session, he offered his most extreme choice of all. It was the choice between a path of conquest and a path of sacrifice, but this is putting it lightly. In a tongue only his player could understand, he described what the path of the martyr entailed. In short, it involved nothing. The player chooses to walk away from the temptation of power, to surrender all ambition, and to welcome death. In exchange for this pledge comes a promise. The player's sacrifice is assured to benefit all who will ever live. In death, the player would later be in the position to help bring an end to a force of unfathomable evil and destruction. A force which was unleashed, for instance, by someone who opted for the other choice. Yaldabaoth then described what it meant to choose the path of the conqueror. It was a path for a more active player, to be sure. The player's mettle as a conquering force would be tested directly and repeatedly. One by one, he would have to conquer and destroy a number of planets spawned for him in the session. Each would be more difficult than the last. After destroying them all, his true land would become unlocked. He would then return to face his denizen again, and defeat him in combat. If successful, his reward would be unprecedented. He would receive the boon of unconditional immortality, where resurrection would not be linked with the just or heroic nature of death. It is unclear how this boon would be awarded, since to my knowledge it is beyond even the ability of a denizen to allow this. But through whatever mechanism the boon is bestowed, immortality is only the beginning. The player is somehow also imbued with a limitless supply of power, enough to destroy anything he wanted, for as long as he wanted. And knowing the villain of our story, anything he wanted would be everything, and as long as he wanted would be forever. Yes, knowing our villain, the choice he would make is quite clear. Knowing him, in fact, proves it could hardly be considered a choice at all. Let's pop the music back on, there we go. Let me take a little sip of my drink. There we go. It was at this point the real game would begin. Skya would undergo a dramatic transformation, becoming even darker and heavier. So this part is basically explaining what happened in Caliborn's session. Because this part wasn't really explained. We've seen like glimpses of it, and we kind of have a gist of what's happening. He's conquering planets to get leprechauns, basically. But we don't fully know where the planets came from and what happened. So this part, we better lock in for. Soon it would become a very massive, solid sphere. It would begin to generate heat within due to rising density. The surface would begin to crack. The resulting explosion is known as the first break. From the primordial blast would emerge 15 planets for the player to conquer. They would scatter and ricochet at high velocity before settling into orbit in the medium. The break is a very violent phenomenon, though. Not all planets will necessarily clear the blast before the Skyan debris settles into its final state. They're just pool balls. Also, siren. Okay. The vast amount of resulting matter then collapses into a black hole. Its gravitational pull is tremendous. Any object within range will be sucked in and destroyed. Those planets which settle into orbit will be safe for the time being. But in the case of our villain session, 3 of the planets did not make it and fell back into the hole. This was a very lucky break for him. Oh yeah, you're more than welcome to lurk. We have a lurk command. Thank you for still being here, though. I appreciate it. So this is Caliborn's planet. Thank you very much. Enjoy stealth mode. So these are all of the planets that he has to conquer. And this is the black hole, where Skya was. It meant he would only have to conquer 12 planets instead. This bit of good fortune could very well have been the difference which allowed him to overcome a nearly impossible challenge. So these are all pool balls, basically. Right, you have to think of it like pool. You've got stripes and you've got spots. And you've also got the 8 ball right here. The first break, that's when you start the game. That's when when you take the triangle, what's it called? The rack. That's when you take the rack off the table, you line up the cue ball, and you do first break. That's what this is. This is very pool coded. So if you know how to play pool, you will kind of understand what's going on here. Okay? His task was to destroy all of these planets in order, each within a time allowance that gets shorter with every planet. To destroy a planet, first it must be conquered. He would have to overcome all forces of resistance on the planet and ultimately defeat whatever powerful underling ruled there. Much like he did to unlock the quest in the first place, he would have to travel to the planet's core, there he would retrieve a bomb, and return to the surface. If he did not accomplish this in time, the bomb would detonate in the core, and the game would be lost. Automatically. The bomb is not powerful enough to destroy the planet alone. In fact, its purpose is not to damage the planet at all, but to move it. So he must bring it to a designated location on the surface. When it explodes, the planet will be knocked out of orbit and sucked into the hole. So basically, he has to pop planets into a hole in order to win the game. He has to make sure that that bomb goes off at the right spot to knock it into the black hole. He is playing pool with planets. Motherfucker is playing a game of pool with planets. Crazy. I thought the same thing, yeah. Of course, he must make sure he's moved onto the next planet before this happens. He repeats this process for each planet until they're all gone. There is one caveat, though. He must skip the 8th planet. If he sinks that one before any of the others, it will result in the destruction of the entire session. Thus, it must be the final planet he conquers. Because we all know, you pop black, game over. Upon destroying the 8th planet, his true land will reveal itself. The dead planet will come to life, and there he must prepare for battle with his denizen. He may sharpen his combat skills, craft new weaponry, anything he can do to improve his chances against a very powerful endgame foe. Fortunately for him, he would not have to face the monster alone. By then, he will have accumulated a party of loyal minions. With each planet he destroyed, he will be awarded a new leprechaun follower. Even if a planet was destroyed in the break, he will still be awarded that planet's leprechaun upon destroying the planet preceding it. Sort of like a 2-for-1 deal. Wait, leprechauns? Yes, John, I'm delighted to see you've pounced on what is clearly the most interesting part of the story thus far. Leprechauns are a fascinating mythical race, although there is some dispute among scholars as to whether they're actually a breed of gnome. I can't say I blame you for being speechless. There are no doubt hundreds of questions swirling around your head at once about these wonderful creatures. Where do I even begin? You must forgive me. I find it very difficult to resist going on at length about them. I just think they're so great. For instance, I can and have given lectures for weeks at a time on their marvelous and widely varying magical abilities. More intriguingly yet, would be any medium to long form harangue on the topic of their culture and customs, most of which revolve around luck. But most captivating of all, and the subject upon which I will now assiduously expound, would be the positively scintillating subject of leprechaun romance. Fucking hell, here we go. Leprechaun romance. So you remember how we have human romance, which is just straightforward, it's just red rum. And then we got the troll romance, which for a while was confusing, but we've adapted, we get it, it's quadrants. And then they were like, cherub romance, which is just black rum. Now we have fucking leprechaun romance. And they've got 9! 9! How does that work? I don't know. I have been a Homestuck for over a decade. Christ on a bike? Give it a rest, brother. Like, where do you need to be that often? How are you that busy? You're not Uber Eats. Sit the fuck down. Anyway, I've been a fan. I've been a Homestuck for over a decade. And even to this day, I do not understand leprechaun romance. I've never understood leprechaun romance. The problem is that when the subject of leprechaun romance is broached, our overly obsessive troll intellects instantly assume the most ingratiating posture of admiration imaginable, which makes it hard. Hard to give it proper academic focus, I mean, because of how great it is. But we will do our best to understand regardless. Trolls have only 4 forms of romance, and though we consider it a complicated subject, spanning a wide range of emotions, social conventions, and implications for reproduction, it is ultimately a superficial slice of what leprechauns consider the full body of romantic experience. Our concept of romance, in spite of its capacity to fill our art, literature, and to rule our individual destinies, like little else, is still just that. A single quaternary concept. A concept usually denoted by 4 symbols. Heart, spade, diamond, club. Leprechaun romance is more complicated than that. Leprechaun romance needs 9 symbols. The 9 quadrants of leprechaun romance are considerably more nuanced than our quaint notions of romance, and certainly more alien. In fact, so conditioned is my own understanding of romance that I can't help but refer to them as quadrants when they are in fact not quadrants at all. They're referred to as charms. Lucky Charms. You know the cereal? Yeah. One of the charms is characterized by romantic love, as understood by both trolls and humans. But after that, all bets are off. There's no division between black or red, concupiscent or conciliatory. Instead, their charms comprise a spectral continuum of more subtly varying types of relationships, most of which are established in mutual chicanery, such as the exchange of pranks, coy riddles, slapstick shenanigans, and games of chance. Furthermore, a pair of leprechauns is not limited to a single charm. A relationship may be defined by multiple charms at once. In fact, some of the most interesting relationships arrive from exotic charm combinations. A stable relationship consisting of 3 or more charms is called a trove. These advanced relationships are often viewed as the ideal end result for a romance, much the way certain pairing rituals are for humans. No charm is specifically tied to procreation, though any type of relationship could begin waxing concupiscent, if Lady Luck should so decide. Certain charm combinations are known to be more conducive to fertility than others. If the leprechaun pair has been so blessed, they'll begin an elaborate coupling procedure culminating in a lively mating jig. The jigs are specific to the charms, of course, similar to how different kinds of music lend themselves to various styles of dance. While their romance is endlessly captivating, leprechaun reproduction may be the most interesting subject of all, particularly from a perspective of detailed anatomical study, which I'll get into shortly. But what first bears pointing out that while for humans reproductive relationships are exclusively heterosexual, not true. And for trolls they are bisexual, not true. For leprechauns, they're... Wow, what a story. But I wasn't wasn't that a story? Great, everyone. Wow. Yeah, just to let you know, the reason why I said it's not true for trolls, because we know that, like, mating in like, human nature is not strictly heterosexual. That's insane. Like, no. First of all, trans people exist, and secondly, intersex people exist. Like, you can sit there and debate trans people if you want to and be a turd. That's fine, I guess, if you want to do that in your fucking room and complain about people existing. You can't deny the existence of intersex people. That's biology. That's fact on paper. You can debate genders and bullshit like that. I don't want to hear it. But what you can't do is deny biology. Intersex people have existed since the beginning of the fucking human race. They've always been here. Don't ever try to tell me that sex is black and white, because it's not. I have intersex friends. There is no such fucking thing as sex being one or the other. It has never been that way. Does that mean I can eat them? Are you asking if you can eat the leprechauns? Dude, what the fuck? That's dark as fuck. No, the charms are like quadrants. They are concepts, bro. That's like saying, can I eat people's, like, love? Like, what? They're based on Lucky Charms, so you could buy cereals and eat those. It's like saying, can I eat card suits? Close enough. I mean, yeah, sure. I got a really good tarot reading the other night, by the way. I might talk about it later. I don't know. But yeah, I got a really good tarot reading. Like, probably the best. Probably the best tarot reading I've ever had in my life. It's a really good one. Apparently, I'm going to get some money soon. I don't know when, but my money going to go up, apparently. Who are the Lucky Charms? Oh, for fuck's sake, Coco. Alright. No one is the Lucky Charms. You know the green fellas, the felt? They are called leprechauns. And leprechauns have their own type of romance that is divided into 9 quadrants. Right? Those 9 quadrants are represented by Lucky Charm symbols. Okay. Another addition for the doc. Yeah, I'm going to help you go through it later, because the leprechauns are way more complicated than trolls. You also missed a massive lore dump on cherubs and how they procreate. So, yeah, you might want to go back and watch that. At least the first 2 hours of this VOD, you're probably going to have to catch up on, just saying. Because we've had massive lore dumps. And a lot of biology that you probably want to be interested in. You really liked it that much, Frisco? Hell yeah. Oh my god, that leprechaun stuff? So good. Right, guys? Wow, well, I'd be happy to continue then if you have Mind Fang. Have I told you how great it's been to get to know each other and team up on adventures and stuff? I really feel like you've helped me get in touch with my ancestral roots, mainly as a kick-ass storyteller. It was like this whole part of my personality I was never aware of. Like the part that's compelled to just outright explain tons of really interesting things to people while sparing no detail whatsoever. It made me feel a lot closer to understanding my aspect, as well as closer to you. So I just wanted to say thanks. Oh, you're welcome. I feel the exact same way about my time with you. You've really helped me get in touch with the true pirate within. I saw in you the adventurous spirit I always wished I could be. You helped me finally understand the virtue in rationalizing questionable decisions and behaving unscrupulously for the greater good. Stop. You're gonna make me start tearing up. Get over here and give me a hug, Alpha Sister. Oh god, we're back at Terezi, okay. Who? You know, Vriska's ancestor. The friendly one who tells long stories. Oh, yeah, her. I don't know, I can't keep all these ghost names straight. Flip Tuna, Meowlin. Wasn't there a Carlos? Fuck it. They were all named Carlos as far as I'm concerned. Wait, except Mina. She was alright. A little forward, but whatever. This isn't the point. All I remember about my interactions with the circuit girl was getting cornered into these ludicrous monologues and then racking my brain for excuses to get the hell out of here. Yeah, well, I was a little more tactful than you and actually listened and let her talk me into something I shouldn't have. So she was just like, poof, and suddenly your eyes were better. Yes. What is she, some sort of magic fairy? Yes. That's kind of literally what she is. Oh, alright. I guess her story checks out then. Good for her. But this doesn't seem like you, Terezi. I mean, I didn't even think you even wanted your eyesight back. I never met anyone as chuffed about her own disability as you. I was always under the impression you felt like it was a big part of who you are. It was. The moment she healed me, I knew I made a terrible mistake, but I couldn't take it back. I thought about it, like just blinding myself again and pretending it never happened. But even the way it happened originally was something special to me. I can't duplicate that. And even if I could, it still wouldn't be the same. I can't seem to forgive myself for being so stupid. For some reason, I thought it was a good idea to take the only cool and unique thing about myself and fix it. What was I thinking? Whoa, the only cool thing about you? Terezi, I want to be understanding, but I can't get behind some of the shit you're saying about yourself here. What made you start unraveling like this? I think it was when we started meeting our ancestors, and I thought they were all cooler and older and more interesting than us, even though they probably weren't. They had a lot of problems and insecurities, too. But I guess the kind that older kids have, and when you're younger, you don't really recognize them as problems. You look at those things as just a part of what it's like being someone who's more interesting and grown up than you. Maybe since I'm not as young anymore, I guess I can see that now. But I was stupidly awestruck by some people who were not so impressive in retrospect, and I made a dumb mistake. Wait, we met all those people, like, kind of a long time ago. How long have you been hiding this from everyone? I don't know. A year or something? And I wasn't hiding it, I just didn't tell anybody. Yeah, that's what hiding it means. But usually can't see my eyes anyway, because of my glasses, duh. I know, but not telling anybody that is still being pointlessly secretive. You could have said, hey Carcat, I fucked up, now I can see again. Maybe we can talk about this so I don't go into a tragic downward spiral and make you worry about me for no reason. I'm sorry. I should've. But I was so ashamed. And what about this clandestine black rom nonsense you got going with Gamzee? What? Have you been dating him for just as long? Was he involved in that decision? Like, did he help talk you into healing your eyes or something? How did you know we were dating? Did he tell you? Oh my god, Teresa, you're a fucking catastrophe. You used to be, like, cunning and considerably more intelligent than me. Which I have no problem admitting. But this is ridiculous. Even if I didn't figure it out myself. Which I did, because it was obvious. You're up here on the roof, lying unconscious in a pile of honk horns and Faygo bottles. I'm not a master of deduction, but unless you're recently stomped on by some sort of golem comprised of garbage from a circus, it seems fair to say you're officially down with the clown. Ugh. Okay. Yes, it's true. Well, what do you have to say about it? I couldn't get up the nerve to tell you about that either. In a way, I'm even more disgusted with myself for dating that asshole than I am for healing my eyes. Then why are you doing it? I don't know. I can't bring myself to stop seeing him. Every time I think I can't stomach the sight of his ugly face for another second, he pulls me back in. He is just so awful. He always knows exactly what to say to piss me off. Everything he does, his fake god tier suit, his smug expression, the dumbass ways he butchers his sentences, saying shit like, all getting up at this motherfucking Hong Kong. I hate it so much, but I keep coming back for more. He's like a drug, even more addictive than this revolting soda I can't stop drinking. I've had so much Faygo, I can't even taste the color anymore. I just taste the sugar and the bubbles and the awful flavor it leaves behind, which just makes me drink more to wash it away. Until I feel so nasty, I have to take a long soda nap, but wake up loathing myself even more. So I just reach for another bottle. It is truly the wicked elixir. Sob. Terezi, I want him to be out of my life. He is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. But I guess you can't help who you hate. This is killing me, hearing this. I seriously want to weep actual puke out of my eyeballs from this story. How did this happen? I gotta say, I didn't see it coming. If you told me sweeps ago, you and he... I wouldn't believe it. Like the writing was on the wall there, I sure as fuck didn't read it. Yeah, it snuck up on me. It didn't help that he terrorized us when we were hiding from Jack. Right under my nose, too. Something I didn't put the pieces together at the time and let him get away with murder. And gradually I started having these uncontrollable thoughts about him. Dark thoughts. When I would catch a whiff of him in the corridors, like he was taunting me, that just fanned the flames. Then we started talking shit with each other more and more. And he was so much nastier than he ever used to be. Way more than any of our friends ever were. One time he started mocking my blindness, which never bothered me when anyone else did it. But somehow, the stuff he said, I let it get under my skin. And combined with meeting a lot of new people I felt like I couldn't live up to, that's when I started reconsidering Arania's offer. I knew it. I knew he must have had something to do with that decision. That slimy bastard. This is mostly my fault. I wasn't vigilant enough with him. And I let our more religious break down. If I kept a closer eye on him, he wouldn't have lured you into a spinning tent of shit. No, you shouldn't feel like... Or maybe it's Kanaya's fault. She's always been a really good auspicist. Maybe she could have prevented this. She wasn't so preoccupied herself. No, wait, it's actually my fault again. If I had been on the ball and ostracized between her and Rose, she would have had the time to ostracize between you and Gamzee. Damn it, I always say I know so much about romance, yet I routinely underestimate its complexity. So I only figure out what to do after it's way too late. God, I'm so stupid. Blarg, shut up. It's no one's fault but mine. I'm the one who has to deal with it. Yeah, okay. For what it's worth, he'll probably just break it off and leave you once we get into the new session. All his loyalties and priorities are totally warped now. I'm not sure what he really cares about anymore, but it sure isn't any of us. You think he will leave me? Yeah, I do. Sob? Whoa, what? Isn't that what you want? No. I'd be devastated if he just suddenly ditched me like that. Okay, help me out, you're confusing me here. I'd feel pathetic, and I guess a sick and terrible part of me doesn't want him to go. But if he does, I want it to be because I tell him it's over. Wow, alright, I guess that makes sense, sorry. I'm just trying to be supportive here. But I'm not always sure what the right thing to say is. I'm doing my fucking best. This is complicated for me too. You're both my friends. I know. I appreciate your intentions, Carcat. Maybe it would be better if you weren't sitting up there in that backwoods chair while you talk to me. What? Why? Yeah, dude, you should probably ditch the chair. What the fuck is wrong with my chair? Or at least sitting it front ways, or offer her another chair. I know, it's kind of dumb affectation in this context. No, look, it's casual and relaxed. Like it visually conveys that my presence in the conversation is humble and non-threatening, yet frank and attentive. What the fuck do you want from me? Sit on the goddamn floor. Why should I squat on the dirty floor? What difference does it make? So you can be on the same vertical plane with your friend while you exhibit compassion for a grow-to clown problem. Dave, it's fine. Never mind about the chair. I don't care. It just struck me as a bit distractingly silly, that's all. Okay, well, fine. Fuck the chair. Pardon me for making myself comfortable during a sincere heart-to-heart discussion with a dear friend in need. But the time has come for me to cease straddling this deeply offensive piece of furniture. Away with ye, four-legged temptress. Distract us no more with the most basic and utilitarian form of creature comfort you supply. Carcat just threw a tantrum about a chair. I just won Carcat tantrum bingo. At last. Why did I start saying it like that? At last, we're free from the accursed instrument of ass elevation. Where do you even get that chair? You steal it from common area? Unlike everyone else ever, I happen to make a practice of cataloging items which might be convenient on a day-to-day basis. Say I'm strolling around and find myself in need of a place to sit, bam, suddenly a chair. And no, I didn't steal it. How could I steal something from the common area? Nobody actually owns any of that fucking furniture. That's why it's called the common area, you accusatory piece of filth. Sounds like communism. Are you a communist or something? Actually, that makes perfect sense, what with your sickle and all. What are you talking about? Wait, John has a hammer. Oh shit, it's all leading up. We arrive, are you gonna team up with John and seize the means of production? You appear to be jump-starting a facetious discussion about some sort of human, economic, ideological framework without having the slightest clue that your vehicle is parked squarely in the nobody gives a fuck zone. I'm just saying, first chairs, what next? See, I'm all about private property and pocketing dough. Do you have any idea how rich I am? I'm a man of means, motherfucker. What is your point? Just don't come after my boonies, dude. Or should I say, Carcat Marks? You aren't being serious now. These are not the words of a serious person. I was having a serious discussion, like a big-time adult, with my good friend Terezi. Your callous and nonsensical remarks are derailing us from the delicate subject at hand. Why don't you be useful and say something reassuring to our sad mutual buddy? You wailing jet engine of infantile staticule... What? Stultiloquence? Oh, okay. Stultiloquence. I don't have much to say about this. I kinda gotta rescue myself on the matter. I'm all kinds of on record as being squicked out by the idea of hate relationships. So we got no point of reference for gauging when one is fucked up, though way that's normal for trolls, or if it's fucked up, because it's actually fucked up and terrible. This is like some ex-alien boyfriend prime directive shit. I can't intervene because I don't know what I'm talking about. But you do, so I guess keep going. You were saying some pretty good stuff before I started riding your jock about chairs. I'm sorry, riding his what? Freudian slip, Dave. Freudian slip. Terezi, do you see? Do you see what I have to deal with? Actually, I guess you can. You can now literally see what I have to deal with. And experience all due empathy for the fact that I have a douche as a best friend. Yes, I can see now. The view from here is douche-tacular. Thank you. So that's it then. No advice at all, smart Alec. Why'd I even bring you here for this intermission then? Intermission? Intervention, I mean, sorry, I misspoke. Not intervention either. My ghostly head's all beaming out of this crab for moral support, yo. I'm in my homie's corner, even if he is a massive socialist. Terezi, I think I could probably figure this out. She grew up alone and blind in the forest, and I think she'll manage to bounce out of her juggler phase. Yeah, Terezi, she'll at least quit the fucking soda. Yeah, okay. Okay? Yes, I'll stop. What, just like that? Sure, it's really gross. I think we're missing the point here. This isn't just about an unhealthy obsession with a foul soft drink. It's about how you feel about yourself. You're barely functional right now. You can't even pick yourself up off the floor and put on a pair of pants. Remember pants, Terezi? You used to love pants. Yeah, pants are pretty great. You used to be a lot of things, and all those things were good things. But now that we're about to arrive, right when we need you the most, you do a sensational belly flop into a circus vat of your own tangy slobber. Oh, please. What could you possibly need me for? You're an important member of this party. We'll need you to help stand up to Jack and whatever else is waiting for us there. I don't think I'll be very useful. Not like this, you won't. You gotta get your act together. No, I mean, even then, I won't be. I don't have much to offer even on my best day. What about your mind powers, though? What if we need somebody with mind powers to do some sort of mindy thing? What mind powers? You know, the ones where you flip a coin and something crazy happens. Oh, I know. I don't actually know how it works, but what about that? I never developed those powers very well, and it's been a long time since I even thought about them. I don't think they're very valuable, honestly. In fact, all they ever seemed to do was trick me into feeling like I knew what I was doing. They actually made me believe I was in control of other people's fates, not even to speak of my own. It was a really dangerous kind of delusion, and now it feels like the only heroic thing I ever did with those powers was use them to justify killing my friend. Huh? Oh, right. And what's worse is, to this day, I'm still not even totally sure if it was necessary. I think I've lost the ability to tell if I'm being punished for what I did, or if I'm punishing myself. Well, yeah, of course it was necessary. Even if it wasn't the morally right choice or whatever. It was obviously something that had to happen. That's the cruel thing about Paradox Space. It systemically validates all your mistakes as necessary outcomes. Not even necessary for your own good or personal growth. It's always bigger than you. Like your errors in judgment are inseparable from the way reality has to unfold. So it never lets you forget about them. Because they are all critical to the big picture. And all your past flaws are like scars. Scars in space-time that never heal. And always serve to remind you that the perfect version of yourself you wish you could be can never exist. Because the survival of everyone you care about depends on him not existing. I know all that. It doesn't stop me from wondering. It's simple. If you hadn't killed her, you would have withered away in a doomed timeline. Yeah, and sometimes I wish I had. At this point, I think I would rather be the better person who made the right decision. Even if it also meant being the one to fade away forever. Well, I wouldn't want that. Does it fucking matter to you? Does that factor anywhere into your dreary existential equation? You probably think I'm crazy. Just as crazy as you think I am for dating Gamzee. But I really miss her. No, I don't think you're crazy for that. And yet, if I ever saw her again, there's no way I could talk to her. So part of me hopes I never... Ow! Steve, you dick. What? Don't blame me. I can't control the crab. Act 6, Intermission 5, Intermission 3. Let me just hydrate. This douchebag. Here we go. Wait. Why did that planet give me 2 elves? You're calling them elves now. Yes. But they're leprechauns, or gnomes, according to some baloney scholars. They can now be additionally referred to as elves. I have decided. Whatever. Why are there 2? Because of the 2-for-1 deal. You sunk the 7th planet on the break. So when you destroyed the 6th planet, you unlocked both the 6th and 7th elf. Now you're on the 8th planet. This one doesn't give you an elf. It doesn't? No. What about a gnome? No. What about a leprechaun? No, you get nothing. Why not? Because you're supposed to skip this one and destroy it last. Just wasting time hanging around here. The clock is ticking. Alright, but first I want to get their powers straight. Am I correct in assuming their powers keep getting more useless? Yes. Just as I suspected. I just fucking poked myself in the eye, fucking trying to itch it. I don't even care anymore. I just want to know. So, Orange Hat, we have established, just walks ahead of me all the time. No matter how far off he wanders and gets lost, I always seem to catch up with him. Yes. And Green Hat, he just has a doll with pins in it. Yes. And every time you get a new elf, he'll take another pin out. That's all I'll tell you. Okay, got it. It's pointless. Moving on. Maroon Hat. I can't tell what his power is. What's his power? He doesn't have a power. Are you fucking kidding me? No. That's a new low. Even for these shitheads. Wait, which one's maroon? Oh, that's Crowbar. Okay. But Maroon Hat is pretty smart. You can use him as a higher ranking henchman or something. Being smart isn't a power. Plus, I doubt it. How smart can one of these imbeciles be? You should talk to him and find out. No. Come on, just a little friendly chat. Fine. I will have a word with him very briefly. Okay. Hey. Are you still talking to him? Wow, you guys are really going out of there. What the fuck could you be talking about for so long? This is getting ridiculous. The timer on the next cubeball bomb is ticking away. Okay, I'm back. And? Maroon Hat is highly intelligent and personable. I have decided he is my favorite guy so far. See? Told you. I will give him some important responsibilities later, but I've not decided what. Maybe he can hold on to something important for you. Good idea. Like what? Oh, I know. My cowl top. No, not the cowl top, that's dumb. My gun? No. Oh, my candy. No, you idiot. Fuck you. If you have an idea, then just tell me what it is, puzzle man. Look at the colour of his hat. What else do you have that's that colour? Also, what object do you think of that's kind of shaped like a 7? Oh. Oh! Of course! A boomerang! Okay, I give up. I will make a mental note to secure a boomerang in the future. Yes, it makes so much sense to be a boomerang thematically, because it always comes around in one big circle, like all the time shit I'm supposed to be about. Okay, last question. Why is Purple Hat constantly dancing in my presence? Yeah, I guess in retrospect, Purple Hat's always been pretty flirtatious, hasn't he? What? Maybe you should try to be open-minded, though. Have you ever considered a star-heart horseshoe relationship with someone? Maybe you'll discover that you've never truly experienced joy until you've been in a star-heart horseshoe with a dancing elf. Caliborn has spiked his cowl top on the ground in disgust. Wait, which one? Oh, that's, Clover. End of Act 6, Intermission 5, Intermission 3. Oh, yeah, we did it, baby. We did it. Let's go. Oh, is this it? Oh, this is it, isn't it? Hey, guys, stop dragging your feet back there. You're falling so far behind. You're starting to look tiny and ridiculous from here. The treasure should be buried just up ahead. Let's pick up the pace. Excuse me, some of us here have special needs. I think I will continue dragging my feet if you don't mind. Solix, will you just let Arania heal your eyes up already and catch the fuck up? No. Hey, Aradia, was it? Yes. Can I ask you something? Okay. You seem pretty reasonable and pretty nice. So I'm wondering, how do you feel about all this? About what exactly? About what Vrisker and her pirate buddies are doing? You mean searching for the weapon? I think it's a good idea. No, I know. Of course, it would be great to have an awesome secret weapon, whatever it is. I mean, how do you feel about the way they've been searching for it by using all your ghost clone friends as bait and getting the bad guy to blow them up to reveal the way to the treasure? That's probably the only way to find it. In my experience, the specific path you travel out here is very important. If we did not trace that exact path in that amount of time, I doubt we ever would have found the right location. In fact, it may never have been found by anyone. Okay, yeah. Let's assume it was the only way to find it, granted. But, I mean, does it really make it the right way to beat him? I couldn't say. Well, how do you feel about it? Most of the other pirates seem cool with it, so I'm wondering if you feel differently. It's probably necessary, and they would have embarked on this voyage whether it come along or not. So, I might as well join the fun. Isn't that what you did when you saw our ship? Sort of. But I didn't know what you were all doing yet. Yes. But once you found out, you continued journeying with us. Yeah, but I'm just hanging out here because I'm asleep. What else was I gonna do? Exactly. I don't necessarily share their point of view on the meaning of this endeavor, though. They consider this to be a great clash between good and evil, but I prefer to look at it as a coming battle as a matter of housekeeping. In the end, all loops must be tidied up, even his. Okay. But what about your friends? Don't you care about them? Of course I do. I love all my friends. Then why do you seem so cheerful when so many of them are getting zapped by lasers? Do I seem kind of cheerful about that? Kinda. I apologize if that's the way I'm behaving. It's not true, though. I think I look at death differently than most. And it is fair to say that this attitude extends to death after death as well. I've learned to be at ease with the cessation of being in any form it takes. But I'm not, nor will I ever be, the monster's handmaid. So please believe that I would never take joy from the destruction of any soul. However, you must realize it is only by the grace of the horror terrors that so many have been allowed to continue existing for so long. They have persisted for ages beyond their time, just as he has. And As such, it seems to me his rampage is just another kind of housekeeping. While he rounds the ring, doing the work of the gods, we must prepare for his undoing as well, to ready the manor for the Lord's arrival, so to speak. I'm sorry. Oh, for a split second I thought I lost my chat. Whoa, that was scary. Don't fucking do that. I'm looking at you, Twitch. My OBS was fine, but my Twitch went weird. Don't fucking do that. I'm looking at you. No, we're still here. No, I know that you're still here. I mean, from my perspective, it was like connecting to chat. That's what I mean. Like, I would have lost the ability to see chat on my Twitch, so I would have had to switch to my, my OBS chat, which I don't use because it doesn't have 7TV in it. That's why. I'm sorry. Maybe I spaced out through some of that, but I'm still not sure what you're talking about. Maybe you could just simplify it for me. Are you a good guy or a bad guy? I don't like to think of myself in those terms, but I do try to be nice to people. Damn it. Okay, could you just maybe give me an idea of what it is you actually want out of all this? What I want? That's a pretty good question. I think I mostly want to see what happens when this whole place breaks apart. She just wants to watch the world burn. Relatable. By the way, at the end of this intermission, I think I'm probably going to raid out. But I also think I'm going to take a bathroom break right now. Yeah. Short bathroom break. I will be right back. Hello. Also, yes, hello, Liv. Let's get back into it. There we go. Thank you for the welcome back. I'm gonna take a little sip. Oh my god. You're all so insane. Are you coming or what? Yes, please come. I was about to begin one final story before we reach the treasure. Oh, holy shit, another story? I'm there. Sorry, Aradia. I'd love to keep chatting, but you heard the lady. It's story time again. Wow, Aradia, you actually sent the guy running to hear a Thurkit story. That was a really impressive creep-out job. Nice. Thank you for joining us, John. Commodore Nepeta and Rear Admiral Pfeffery have both been clamoring for one last tale. And I'm not one to disappoint. Clamoring. As in clams texted. Okay, what's this one about? Ogre sex or salamander shipping or something? No. Although I would be happy to tell you all about those topics another time. This is a story about 2 legendary rings. No, not those rings. The rings I'm talking about are less powerful and considerably more obscure. But for what they lack in power, they make up for in mystery. Details on the rings are quite hard to come by. I've pieced together what little I know from various fables and myths. They occasionally make appearances in such stories, serving different purposes in each tale, and always called by different names. But in this story, they will be known as the Rings of Life and Void. The rings are said to look nearly identical, but their powers are quite different, as are their origins. The Ring of Void supposedly once belonged to the Black Queen of a Void Session, but one day it was stolen from her by a thief, and then stolen again from the thief by a rogue. Legend would suggest it changed hands like this for a long time thereafter until finally vanishing into the void itself forever. Which is fitting, as the ring grants its wearer the ability to do exactly the same. The Ring of Life has a very different story. I have found no reports of an origin to this ring at all. Like many magic artifacts, it may not even have one, which is comprehensible. Earliest reports I have read would suggest it was first discovered by some travelers in a desert, and, like its sister ring, has changed hands repeatedly since. This ring, however, has a dramatically different effect. Instead of relegating the wearer to obscurity and immateriality, it does just the opposite. It is said that any ghost who wears this ring will come back to life. In some stories, the fate of each ring appears to be entangled with the other. When one is lost, the other is serendipitously found. A great example of this can be observed in the fable of... Wait a minute. But I was just about to tell... Mindfang, I said shut up. Wait. Now wait just a goddamn minute. Hold on. Are you telling me? Are you seriously telling me that ring? No. Just no. Back it up. For just a silk spinning minute. What's the matter? That fucking guy? Are you kidding me? Controlling Cronuses. So funny. Are you kidding me? Slampora. Ah! Tavros. What? What did you do with that ring? Oh, what ring? Don't play dumb with me. That ring you had. You know, the same one the orange guy tried to give me. I still don't know about this orange guy you mentioned sometimes. You talk about orange guy, but in reality, he sounds probably fake. Like how you thought Rufio used to be, until facts proved he wasn't. You actually think I'm making this up? Why would I make up a story about an orange guy? What kind of juvenile fuck-up do you take me for? The orange guy was real. He was surrounded by a bunch of stupid fucking horses, and he tried to give me a ring, so I knocked him out cold. And then later, you found it. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Don't lie to me. You had the ring, and you and John were fighting over it behind your backs like a couple of idiots for a while. What, you think I didn't notice? Yeah, no. I didn't think you did. Well, I did. And I didn't care, because I didn't think the ring did jack shit. But now that I know it does jack a whole fucking lot, I would like you to stop behaving like a disingenuous, argumentative asshole and tell me where it is. I don't know where it is. It's gone. What do you mean it's gone? I had it, then John had it, and I wanted it back, but he wanted it also. So we argued with our hands over it until he vanished, and I tried to find it on the ground because it was precious to me for a while. Why was it precious to you? Are you telling me you knew what it did? No, I didn't. I just had separate reasons from that for wanting it. Well, whatever lame reason you wanted that ring, forget it. It's obviously a much more important magical item than either of us gave it credit for. As soon as we get the treasure out of this cave, you're gonna lead us back to wherever you lost it, and we're gonna look for it. Is that understood, Poop Master Nitrum? No. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I comprehend the literal meaning of your yelling, but no. What do you mean, no? That was an order. I think your mean-spirited angriness is making me remember to wonder why I keep wanting to help you and like you. And I think it's making me think I don't really care anymore about finding the ring or finding this treasure or help you do arguably evil things to ghost friends to get your objectives to happen. Tavros, what exactly are you trying to say? I think the bottom line of it is I don't want to be your poop master anymore, so I'm not going to be. Where do you think you're going? Get back here. You can't just fly away from me like that. Oh, but I can. You forgot about my secret weapon. Behold, the self-esteems. Ugh, self-esteem's my ass. I said get back here. If you go out there alone, you're gonna die, you pathetic piece of shit. I'll take my chances, you jerk. Yeah. Fly, pupa. Fly. Oh, yeah. So clever. How I referenced what were once scornful remarks directed at me. So sick. So sick. We can all hear you whispering from down here, shit for brains. Hey, Tavros, wait up. I think I'm coming with you. Wait, what? Solix, no, wait. Nah, I've pretty much had it too. Can't believe I went along with this for as long as I did, so yeah. I'll be fucked 2 ways from Parades before I let Tavros upstage me in the backbone department. Haradia, sorry. I just can't be a part of this anymore. It's making me feel dirty. I understand, Solix. Let's catch up again later, hopefully when all this is over. Yeah. Oh, Pfeffery, Nepeta will be coming with me too. What? No, they fucking won't. Yes, they will. They just told me. I didn't hear them say shit. They both gave me meaningful glances, as if to say, oh yeah, let's bounce. You're blind. How could you see a meaningful glance? Instead of underestimating the perspicacity of the sensory impaired, why don't you bite me? No, they can't go. Commodore Nepeta and Rear Admiral Pfeffery are both critical members of my crew. This is a mutiny. Vriska, I'm on your side here, but I feel I should point out that technically they both outrank you. Excuse me? No, they don't. Come on. I just gave them titles that sounded cool. How can you outrank a captain? By being a Commodore. A Commodore outranks a captain? Yeah, afraid so. Yes, and a rear admiral outranks the commodore. No, but I thought a rear admiral was like some sort of joke rank. Who can take a rear admiral seriously? Might as well be a poop master. No, Cirque is actually a real thing. Goddamn, for a pirate, you really know fuck all about nautical junk. Pretty embarrassing, TBH. Yeah, this stuff is all super interesting. JK, losers. Anyway, we're out. He always gets two girls at the same time. It's always the way. Yep. Ladies. I fucking love him. Good riddance, you backstabbing... Good riddance, you backstabbing ingrates. Is that ingrates or ingroats? Whatever. I hope Lord English eats you all. Hey, Friska. What? Actually, you know that ring? What about it? I have it now. You do? Where? Let me see. No, I mean, not on me. I guess I wasn't wearing it when I fell asleep. It seems to have the power to come with me in and out of my dreams, as long as I'm wearing it. That's how I got in the first place. I had it on when I woke up. You were wearing it? Why? And why were you playing keep away with it in the first place? I mean, aside from the obvious fact that messing with Tavros is its own hilarious reward. I don't know. I guess I liked it, and I just wanted to hang onto it for some reason. But I didn't know I would wake up with it. This is perfect. That means all you have to do is put it on when you wake up. Then come find me the next time you go to sleep. Yeah, maybe. Maybe? I'll think about it. You'll think about it? Well, yeah, sounds like an important item. So deciding what to do with it is kind of a big responsibility. It's supposed to bring ghosts back to life, but we don't know how it works. What if it only keeps you alive as long as you're wearing it? That would mean only one ghost could come back. Right, all the better reason to let me use it. But there are a lot of ghosts. I'm just not sure what to do yet. Wait, you're not actually thinking of giving it to someone else, are you? That's my ring. The orange guy gave it to me. Yeah, well, frankly, I don't give a shit about the orange guy. The ring is mine for now, so I'm the one who has to figure out what to do with it. Speaking of waking up, it's probably time I got going too. I'm not trying to join the mutiny or anything, but I do have friends waiting for me out there. John, wait. I hope we're not parting on bad terms here. You aren't holding all this treasure hunting shit against me like Tavros is, right? We're still cool, right, John? If you have to leave, I get that. But I really want us to stay friends. I always felt like we had a special bond, John. Like we're both always in the position of having to take charge as leaders, even if we never asked for that responsibility. And I don't want to pressure you into anything, but I would really appreciate it if you at least think about me the next time you take a nap with that ring on. It's fine. We can stay friends. I don't really like to make enemies with people, even if they're what? Friska, I have to be honest. Years ago, when we first talked, it was a lot of fun to get to know you. I admit, I thought about you a lot since then, but I guess I never quite realized how little I actually understood you. During this crazy treasure quest, I tried to reserve judgment, like maybe it was just a troll thing I didn't get. But seeing how those other guys felt about it, I think it's more complicated than that. Obviously, not all trolls are like you, and I know I'm not. Maybe this was all for a good cause, but it still felt like a pretty fucked up way to go about it. And all I'm saying is, I'm ready to go. I've seen enough, and I miss my friends. I'll think about what to do with the ring, but honestly... Honestly, what? Again, I'm just keeping it real. But if I am really thinking hard about who I should bring back to life, I don't know if my conscience can justify bringing back someone so dangerous. Fine. Don't give me the ring then. Actually, you know what? Even if you change your mind someday, forget it. I don't want it anymore. You don't? No. I've been dead this long. What's a little longer? Keep your ring. I don't want anyone's pity. So beat it, Egbert. Well... Huh. John, I thought you were leaving. Oh, right. I guess I'll just be... What are you, a fucking idiot? Don't go yet. What? Look, you made yourself perfectly clear. You think I'm a heartless monster, and you don't want to help me out. Whatever. But are you seriously going to check out this dream, like 2 minutes before you see what the treasure is? Holy crap, dude. Where's your sense of curiosity? If I can manage to put up with you for a little longer, I think you can stand my morally bankrupt company long enough to find out what this thing is. Why am I the only person in Paradox Space who actually thinks? Oh, sure. I guess I'll go a little further and check out the treasure. You're right. It would be dumb not to. Good. Party's over, folks. The Pirate Playtime Wiggler Jamboree was fun while it lasted, but it's time to get serious. The treasure's down there. If my guess is right, it should be buried in one of his ancient memories. By now, we've all been windbagged to hell and back by my dear ancestor, so I'll trust nobody is going to mind indulging one of my stories. There was a pretty good yarn about this treasure I read once during our travels. Found it in some damn memory, who knows whose. It was a good read, impeccable prose. Failing to do it justice would be the real matter of grey morality here, if you ask me. But right now, I ain't in the mood to figure out how not to make it fucking suck. So I'll just say this. It was supposedly a weapon that once belonged to him, but he could never use it without altering its nature, meaning he could only use it once. So he did. After that, it could only be used again one more time, and only as a weapon against him. Knowing it was one of the keys to his defeat, he had it locked away deep in the void. That's it. Part 1 of my story. Hold your applause. Guess we'll find out if that's true, or if it turns out all my despicable shit was in vain. Not that it would even matter to some people. You know, they can say whatever they want about me, but somewhere out there is a shimmering new universe growing in a big ball of water. He's looking hells of majestic, amphibious and resplendent. His glorious croak would bring you to your knees. That universe is going to give life to billions of trillions of zillions of cute little aliens. You wouldn't even believe how pretty and wonderful and happy all these aliens will be. It's making your lip tremble just thinking about them. And how worth saving they are. Wow. You could walk up to one of those aliens, put your hand on its innocent shoulder, and with a straight face, you could say, "Sorry to break it to you, but tomorrow, a guy named Lord English is gonna destroy your universe. You're all gonna die." And when that alien looks up at you with tears in its eyes, just before the first one rolls down its weird alien cheek, you lean in close to its absurd alien ear and whisper, "Psych." That's because you know, a long time ago, in an obscure pocket of reality, the alien could never understand or give a shit about, some crazy girl sacrificed the lives of a bunch of ghosts in order to kill that guy forever. They were already a million sweeps past their prime, existing on borrowed time, luxuriating in a kind of bizarre metaphysical longevity few others will ever enjoy. Just a fresh batch of bait the squid gods kept on ice for an insatiable fisherman, because they were sick of being hunted themselves. Those ghosts were all that stood in the way of an end to this eternal holocaust. And sparing their souls ain't different, in my view, from personally committing atrocities on a cosmic fucking scale. I only ever wanted to do the right thing, no matter how it made people judge me. And I don't need a magic ring to do that. You don't have to be alive to make yourself relevant. And you don't have to be a good person to be a hero. You just have to know what you are and stay true to that. So I'm gonna keep fighting for people the only way I ever knew how. By being me. Okay, but that monologue was kind of badass. As much as I do hate Vriska. So you remember how I said Vriska gets a redemption arc that she doesn't deserve? Here it is. She doesn't deserve this redemption arc. But fuck if it isn't good. It's Can Town. Let's go. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah. You gotta admit, she has her moments. Yeah, she really does. Vriska derogatory still, but she low-key has a point. Yeah, she really does. Like, the rationalization of, like, killing ghosts as a means to, like, pave the way, it does sound awful in retrospect, but, like, if she didn't do that, they'd all die anyway, a second double death. Not to mention the fact that, like, they shouldn't even be there to begin with. Like, they should all just be flat dead. They shouldn't even be ghosts. Like, so they're all existing in a timeless state for eons and eternity, right? Like, those ghosts have been there for a long fucking time. Because time is non-existent in the void where they are, right? So, like, Vriska's mentioned it a few times. Like, John was like, oh yeah, I saw you a year ago. And she was like, oh yeah, but it's been even longer for us. It's been, like, you know, thousands of years for us. So, they have had a very long afterlife. A long-ass afterlife, and everyone is bored as fuck. Put them out of their misery. Give them some fucking purpose. Jesus. They're gonna die one way or another. Make their deaths mean something. You know what I mean? It's one of the few things I actually agree with Vriska on. I don't always agree with her, but I will agree with her on this. I know, crazy. Me agreeing with Vriska? Wild. Rose, you are willfully ignoring my trail of Finnish crumbs. I said them quietly, in sequence, to convey one of your human pregnant pauses before speaking. The pause was human expecting, in the same sense that I'm expecting an explanation for your present conduct. We were to meet the others on the roof by now. Can I, as for this pregnancy shit. Are you trying to tell me something? I'm trying to tell you that we're on the verge of reaching our destination, and here I find you doing... What are you doing exactly? My civic duty. I've been deputized by the mayor as the assistant chief deputy of city planning and preservation. What? Kenya, I am really swamped in red tape here. Do you think you could please return when I'm not so busy? Thanks. Either that or file a requisition form with the zoning bureau. You've been drinking your soporifics in excess again. Rose, this is terrible. No, what would be terrible would be to bid farewell to this meteor before my critical administrative work is complete. No, but really, what are you doing here in the tiny simulated village? Are you writing numbers on all these nutrition cylinders? Laugh. Ugh, God, I just love troll words for things. Yes, you have mentioned this. Nutrition cylinders. That's a good one. I forgot about that one. Maybe cylinders is stilted enough. What about tall circles? Tall circles. Tall circles. No, that sucks. Answer my question, please. Why are you numbering the tall cans? Documenting their original locations. So that way, we will relocate the city faithfully to our new home. Wherever that may be. You want to relocate the city? Now? This is such foolish use of time. Oh, but you cannot be further from the truth. The preservation of Cantown has tremendous symbolic importance. We are all that's left of our respective races, canaille. We're the light of civilization. It is our responsibility to carry the torch through the abyss whilst keeping it lit and set it upon the hearth of nude world. I think the torch is not all you've managed to keep lit. It is light. Our light will spread throughout our creation. But only, Kayaka, only if we respect the light of civilization itself. If we respect the light of democracy. So many finished crumbs up in here. Civility, liberty, reason, edification, civility, rationality, learning, justice, liberty, honor, elucidation, civility, reason. These are the virtues which embody the magnificence that is Cantown. You said some of those words 2 or 3 times, and most of them weren't words. I just got it. That's not how you managed to keep lit. That burn was sick. I love it. I do not believe this. You promised me you would be ready for our arrival. I am ready. My god robe's on and everything. This is not ready. When I said ready, I believe your sobriety was more than implied as an operative criterion. Canasta. You're so wordy. Ugh. I have been polite as I can be. But honestly, your demeanour is not nearly as charming as you appear to believe when you've consumed a lot of that liquid. You have assured me that chronic and habitual exploitation of this substance is not a problem for your people, but at this point I must conclude that you were just lying. Why? Why did you do this just before our arrival when you told me you wouldn't? Well, I wasn't gonna, but I started to think about everything. About meeting my mom, I started getting nervous. But you can't help us like this. We need you. You're the smartest one on this meteor, by quite a lot. Hey now, Kapaya, I flatter, but I think you might be selling the mayor short. What? This guy, let me tell you, this guy is the best. Okay, that was literally the most inebriated thing you've ever said. I love Drunk Rose. I don't. Drunk Roxy is much more functioning. Like, Roxy is definitely a functioning alcoholic, whereas Rose is not. You know what I mean? Kakaya, the mayor, and telling you, the fucking mayor, what a friend. You're not actually suggesting this simple creature dressed in rags is your intellectual superior. Or what if I am? How would one even draw this conclusion? He does not speak. He has his ways of letting a slot spoon on. He has his ways. He does not have his ways. He likes cans and little pretend cities, and he is rather adorable, and that's pretty much all there is to say about the mayor. Please do not distract from the important issues with talk of fake mayors. What issues? My indiscretion with alcohol or something else. I am sensing we're tiptoeing around the mixed bag of delicate subjects. Let's talk about them. This is not a hypothetical exercise in your earth psychiatrics. You made a promise to me and you did not keep it. Yes, you are usually very smart and we all need you. But more importantly, I need you. Don't you remember? You said you would help me resurrect my species. I still don't know how I'm going to acquire a new matriorb. How are we supposed to solve that problem when your thick pan is addled so? Kamaya, why don't we go easy on the shout polls? I told you to relax about the matriorb. Have some faith in us. Well, we're going to make everything work out. I have a very good feeling it will be all fine. That is not reassuring coming from you like this. I often can't tell, even at your most lucid, if you put too much trust in your searing abilities. But when you say such things while obscured by these toxins, you sound outright delusional. You stumble through this lab in such high spirits, which makes it impossible to broach the subject from a standpoint of mutual agreement that your behavior is a problem. But if I'm always happy, then why is it a problem? Ugh, you see? I'm not following. I would like to... Wait, have I been being a bitch to you without realizing? Oh, no. No, not exactly. I've already explained. You have severely hobbled your intellect and your efficiency. The objectives you prioritize have become ridiculous. You have just decided to draw a map of a false metropolis. Others have suffered as well. Whatever happened to your concern for Terezi and Gamzee? All my lessons in auspicism for nothing. I tried, Kakaka. But our shit spit schism or whatever is actually really hard. I know it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. And my name is not Kakaka. Whoops, I'm sorry, Kayola, Papaya, shit. Your name is so lovely, why can't I say it? You cannot say it, because you're human drunk. You're right, my delinquency is inexcusable. If you just tell me fishes indexing and gathering of the rest of these cans. Ah! The Bubbles Funds... The Bubbles Village Salamander Memorial Library. Are you gonna break up with me? No! Through all that, she still can't break up with Rose. So we're entering the next intermission now. I think this is going to be a very brief one, and then we're moving on to the next one. It's been 3 hours. I was kind of hoping we'd make it to game over. We did not. I need to go to the supermarket, guys. I need to go to the supermarket. So, I'm gonna have to call it here, because it's getting kind of late, and the supermarket closes in a couple hours, so... Maybe it's time to call it a day, raid out, you know? Let's see who we can raid, shall we? Let me save where I am. I like Rose, but I would have broken up with her after that. Yeah, for real. Kanaya is... Kanaya is a very strong woman. Your errands, Demon Man. Yeah, I have errands, unfortunately. Who can I wade? Let's see. Let's get the raid message in chat. Remember to copy and paste this so that when we raid into someone, they know that you came from my raid. There's the raid message. Let me just make sure I'm spelling their name right. Yeah. Alright, as always, we go into someone else's chat, read their rules, be courteous, don't be a dick. Also, make sure to hydrate yourself, get some snacks, do some self-care, and ultimately stretch, unshrimp, and... No, you're not getting cookies. You have to finish the doc first. You got leprechauns to write up on. You know the rules. The doc is important. And ultimately, thank you for being here. I will see you in the next stream. Thank you. And goodbye.